We are
Hello.
live. Uh, Hello. Thank you for joining us. We are live from the apocalypse. I think I just said we are alive from the apocalypse. We are
We're
live
alive.
from the apocalypse, and we're also live. We're also alive from the apocalypse. It's been long week. Hello, welcome. We have not been here for class reunion in like a month, actually. Pretty wild. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
it's been a while.
Welcome back.
It's been a while. We don't want to get DMCA'd.
Well, we went on summer break,
Right. Exactly.
as one does when you're in high school.
Technically, actually, you did go on summer's break.
You went on summer break.
Yeah.
I went on summer's break.
Summer's break. That's a joke for 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah, he's driving. He's not even watching. So.
Yeah. Hello.
Not even
everybody.
watching.
Rude.
While he's driving, just like has Twitch up.
I don't
Nope.
think Summers has ever watched it. I don't think I've ever seen Summers' name on the little chat list.
It's because technically we're live when it's like almost 1 a.m. over there.
I mean,
so
I've
he
seen,
watches it in bed and then falls asleep.
Sure, no, but I've seen Summers' guinea pig in our chat list, but I've never
Oh,
seen.
that's true.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Oh yeah,
Summers.
Brocky's in there a lot.
Yeah,
The man himself.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Mhm.
Hello. Once again, we are live from the apocalypse. We play tabletop role-playing games to support progressive causes and good organizations. This stream is raising money for the Surfrider Foundation. We are $55 away from hitting our goal. We have been doing the Surfrider Foundation and Planned Parenthood for a very long time now, probably almost a year, and we are very close to meeting our goal for both. Well, we already hit Planned Parenthood, so everything is going towards Surfrider Foundation right now.
Yes.
We're going to close that out strong, and then we're going to pick a new one. And we've got some hot contenders. Let me tell you, you will love these organizations. So if you'd like
You're
what you
gonna
see
love
here,
these orcs.
you are going to love these orcs. You're going to love my orcs.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's it. Yeah, we if you like what you see here, with that being said, you can feel free to hit !surf donate in the chat, and it will call up the link, and you can follow that little link right there, and you can give whatever money you would give to us that Amazon would steal a lot of directly to the organization. You can give that to Surfrider Foundation, $5, $4, whatever you are so inclined. And when you do that, we will put an advantage into the pool that the players can draw from as they need to. Not that they really need it, but everything helps. So yeah, we ask that you do that instead of, giving us your money, because Amazon takes it. And also, we don't, we're fine, but like these organizations are really good and they do a lot of good work, and we just play games on the internet.
Unless you have a Prime sub.
Yeah, that's true. If you have a
Which
Prime
case
sub,
is it?
feel free to throw that at us. If you donate, the McElroy brothers yell at us. If you subscribe, Brendan Lee Mulligan kills a dog. So
Wasn't
Uh,
it like
we've not-
37 last time?
we have not been streaming as much recently, so I feel like the dog population has really recovered. So it's probably getting out of hand, to be completely
You
honest.
are
Look what you've
What?
done.
Well,
Kill that
you know,
dog.
there's one. No, that's 5. There's 5. Thank you so much.
I'm all the bad guys.
Perfect times.
Perfect timing. Thank you so much for that
You are
subscription.
sick,
And
son of
there's
a-
6. Okay.
Gonna kill
Thank
that
you,
dog.
Pukius.
Thanks, Pukius.
Thanks,
He's the
Pukius.
bad
Thanks.
guy. You.
All the bad
Dollar
guys.
sign imp. Whoever that is, thank you.
Oh.
Thanks, Dollar.
That's silly. It's a silly
Uh,
name.
Thank
Silly
you.
name. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, if you have a Prime sub, feel free to throw it at us, I guess. It does help. It goes back to
Free
support the
money.
channel. It helps us do more stuff. With all that being said, I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna get into our 5e game. We're gonna get into our 5e homebrew class reunion. If you haven't caught a class reunion stream before, you might be a little lost. Just gonna give you a heads up right there. But this has been called an isekai D&D game, which is a word I learned after I
Yeah.
started running it.
I forgot about that.
Yep, often called that. In fact, surprisingly frequently. Um,
Self-diagnosed isekai game.
self-diagnosed. There is a little description that pops up in the chat if you hit exclamation point and then the name of the game. That's true for pretty much all of the games on our channel. Don't test me on that. I'm not confident I made one for every game.
Just your
But
favorites.
for class reunion, that is a thing. Don't say that. You're gonna get me in trouble. Yeah, that's class reunion. That's what we do here. Our players are high school students from Ohio, where they were 10 years ago. They've been trapped in a fantasy world, separated from one another. They have grown up and taken on new jobs. They've grown as people. Some of them have regressed as people. And now they have been reunited and are trying to figure out exactly why they're here and what they are meant to do. Currently, they are inside of a necropolis known as Barrow. It is a very advanced place compared to what they have been used to for the last 10 years. There is a shocking amount that feels reminiscent of home. And when we ended last time, they fought a bunch of stuffed animals. And then Kelly was reunited with an old friend by the name of Edmund Vares, who introduced you to the group that he has sort of been assembling here in Barrow to rise up against the undead, known as the Misery Shift. And I think that is where we're going to pick back up. So inside of the factory district, yes, they were roommates.
Actually.
Inside of the factory district of Barrow, there's not much. Aside from the aforementioned factories and warehouses that churn out magic items that are then disseminated out to the rest of the kingdom, Barrow's power, the reason why Barrow is allowed to propagate this misery and slave labor.
You are
that
a
they-
sick son of a.
Gotta kill that dog.
Oh my God,
Nice job.
He's the bad
Excellent
guy.
work.
All the bad guys.
We love you and all the dogs you kill.
You hype trained us.
Oh
It's a
no,
lot
we
of
hate
hype,
those dogs.
A lot of hype for these dead dogs.
Oh boy.
This is a
They're
dark
food.
joke. This is a dark joke we set up.
It is.
It is.
It's pretty funny.
Ew.
Man, We didn't kill
it's-
those dogs.
I know it's hard.
Ronnie
because,
Mulligan
like,
did.
yeah, if everybody in the chat could just drop a quick LOL so that I know you're all laughing along with us and you're not horrified, I would appreciate that. Or like a ha 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 or like a ja ja ja, depending on where you are regionally in the world.
I'll just. What if I just drop the little laughing?
That works. Good. All right, I'm glad you're with us on this. The reason why Barrow is able to sort of propagate this misery and the slave labor that they do here in their factory district is because of the convenience they provide to the rest of the kingdom at large. These mass-produced magic items are just a little too convenient for the average person to really look beyond where they came from. I think at some level, a lot of people in the kingdom know that what they're buying, what they're paying for, comes at the price of the health and well-being and happiness of the workers inside of Barrow, but they just can't quite bring themselves to get away from it. And it is in the factory district, inside one of the worker dormitories, just squat concrete buildings, 20 people packed into a room, very uncomfortable cots that are little more than like stone shelves set into the walls that our characters and the Misery Shift are currently taking counsel with one another. The four of you have been brought inside, and you have gotten a lot of very concerned looks given your appearance and technically your physical state as undead. However, Edmund has vouched for you, and it is clear that his word carries a lot of weight here in the dormitories. So even though people are leery and hesitant around you, nobody is openly hostile, nobody is making a move against you. As far as you can tell, nobody's even glaring at you. Mostly you're getting looks of apprehension. Edmund sits on one of the bunks. Kelly, he is a little bit worse for wear since the last time you saw him. He looks a little more haggard, a little more tired. The bags under his eyes are deeper. But despite all of that, you can still, when you look in his eyes, you can still see that sort of flame of rebellion. And he looks at you. Edmund looks at you, Kelly. Again, he kind of looks, his expression tells you that he still is reeling from the fact that you're actually here. And he looks at you and he says, all right, so why don't you tell all of us exactly what it is you're doing here and how you ended up? Well, and he gestures to you.
Yeah, the this part was not part of the original plan. The reason why we're here is while we were in Calderon City, there was some undead creature came and killed trying to think of the best way to describe Ryan without saying my old classmate.
My best friend, my personal hero,
Your
best man I ever
nemesis.
met.
Honestly, a garbage man, and we're not sure why we should be here for him.
I guess scholar. Kelly will use the phrase scholar. Because that's, it kind of tracks with.
He was in a library at least once. You
At
saw him
least
walk out of
once.
it.
I have the books that he checked out from the library, which means I broke the chain of authority with that, but it's fine. Yes, it's like so, and we saw them kill an important scholar, and then his body was whisked away, we think, by other undead and brought here, and as people who had known him years ago, we were asked to try and retrieve him because there's a fear of what the undead could do with the things that he was researching, and we don't know all of what he was researching. It doesn't all make sense, but we have to try. And so we came in through the gap.
How much does Edmund know about where you came from, Kelly?
Not a great deal. As far as he understands, he thinks, similar to how most of the people in Kalefell think, they think I'm related to Dion. They think she's my aunt. So he doesn't know a great deal about that. He knows I'm not local. I was from the farthest edges. And that's where I grew up. And then I came more inland to be. Yeah, no, he knows nothing about like the truth.
Yeah, okay, cool.
No.
All right.
I will say, Kelly has told literally only DeMarcos that. They're the only ones who know.
Okay. Cool. He nods slowly like he's taking all of that in. And one of the other people standing around. One of the other members of the Misery Shift, dressed identically to all of the others in that same sort of dirty smock-looking thing, crosses his arms over his considerable chest. He has like a very bushy, unkempt beard. His head is, while not clean shaven, is bald. And he crosses his arms over his chest and raises an eyebrow a little bit, and he says, "What exactly was your plan then?"
Before this appearance alteration, it was
What did you think you were going to do exactly?
try to be as careful and quiet as possible.
I can climb walls.
Gesture at Max and be like, he can do a lot of really weird stuff.
Weird.
The bearded man kind of like straightens up. He like drops his arms to his sides and says, "I can also climb."
Better than me? I don't think so.
I guess there's only one way to find that out.
Yes, there is.
Edmund's gonna like stand up and sort of interpose himself and try to head off this confrontation before it goes anywhere. And he's gonna say, "Seamus, now's not the time."
Too bad. I had my hand like on a wall. But too, I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Edmund interposes himself, says that, and then says, "Like I mentioned, your timing is fortuitous. We've been working towards a plan. There's still some hurdles that we haven't accounted for, but maybe now that you're here, I don't want to assume anything. I'm not sure that your goals align exactly with ours. You're here looking for somebody, or two people, rather."
Yeah. While our immediate goals are focused on these two people, at least for me, my goals of making things better here has never changed. It's how I was able to still maintain the contacts to get us back in. I
Or we could
have,
blow it up.
as Max, we can always try to blow it up, but this place has been set on fire before. They kind of are equipped to deal with that.
Mm.
Yeah, Seamus scoffs and says, there's magical safeguards in place to account for that, obviously."
Is there a problem here, bro?
My name is Seamus.
Whatever, anus.
Okay, Max!
Max.
I think
maybe
I
now
think,
is not the time.
Wayne laughs
think
really hard at that, like way too hard.
immediately for like a second things get a little chaotic. People around you start like making noise. people around you start making noise over the din that's building up. Seamus asserts once again, says, "My name is Seamus. Yeah, you got it wrong on purpose."
Bro, it
And,
smells in here.
You're just gonna kick him.
Edmund is gonna
Okay.
stand up. Edmund's gonna stand up on the bunk and try and call out to everybody. And he's gonna say, all right, that's enough. That's enough. Seamus, go stand over there."
Yeah, Seamus.
Max.
And
Max.
yeah, Seamus like begrudgingly trudges to the other side of the room and leans against the wall there.
Me and him are gonna be good friends.
Man, we'll see. Maybe. Yes. More like shame must.
Jesus.
So, yeah, Edmund says the point stands. We can't burn this place down. We can't. We've tried that before. We've been down that road. You see him glance over at Kelly as he says that.
Mm.
The thing is that Barrow is not the place that it was when you left. Things have changed here. Things are starting to change. At least. Most of the undead, the common folk, the working class, I mean, they could care less about keeping us here as slaves or workers or whatever you want to call it. It makes no difference in their lives. They know they don't need us for food. They don't need us for labor. People are starting to ask the question, why are we doing this? Isn't it costing us more to keep them underfoot than we're gaining? With that in mind, I think if we take out the head, there's a chance for real change.
Kelly will kind of take that in, and then she'll like look at the rest of the misery shift to kind of see if she can tell if that's like if that's a shared sentiment or if that's something that maybe Edmund's just being a little optimistic on.
Mm.
That's an interesting question. Roll an insight check.
Okie dokie. Insight. That's a +2. It's an 8.
Well, it's not great.
Good old roll 20.
In general,
It begins again.
you see people nodding along as he is speaking. In general, you see people affirming what he's saying. Whether there are holdouts or people with their own agendas, you're not entirely positive. But what you're seeing displayed here is largely support and agreement.
Okay. So then at that she'll say, I remember last time I was here, there was a plan to try to get to him before, but you said the head wasn't there when you tried during the storm.
No, we tried to take advantage of it. We tried to make a move, but our intel was bad. I wasn't where he was supposed to be, or where we were told he would be.
And do you trust the intelligence this time?
Well, that's one of the hurdles.
Hmm.
We don't have that intelligence this time. We'd need to acquire that.
What does that take?
Somebody willing to stab him in the back. Or maybe someone who knows him well.
Who is he?
No one's really sure.
I'd look over at Kelly when I asked that.
Kelly kind of like tenses a little bit and then she shrugs and she's like, it's one of those well-kept secrets. There's a general idea, but it's one of those things where it's like when you have that much power, you know you're that much more vulnerable. So you become very paranoid. You keep everything to the chest. Everything is secret. I remember, I think we were trying to catalog what the towers are, weren't they?
That was part of it. But only a handful of the mana rails even go that high. And of course, they're kept away from the others. I'm sure someone on the board wants him to fall. I'm sure there's some opportunist who's willing to sell him out, but obviously we can't get close to them. And we can't reach out to anyone without being sure.
So it sounds like it would be best for us looking the way we do to try to find someone on the board.
I mean, he steps up to you and puts a hand on your shoulder. There it is.
Hey!
He steps up to you. He doesn't put a hand on your shoulder. It's not Max.
I was gonna say Max gets jealous.
I was gonna say Max is immediately like,
Only
"Yo, what
I
the
do
fuck?"
that.
No, Edmund's not the type to take some up
Reach
there.
for my sword.
No, he
It's my favorite
puts,
terrain.
he puts a hand on either side of your, on the outside of your arms, and he says, "I mean, I can't ask you to do that. That's too dangerous, and it's not why you're here."
You're not gonna have to ask because, to be honest, that helps us too. We can find someone on the board. If we can find more information on the towers, that benefits us just as much to find out where they could have taken Ryan. There's no reason why we can't do both. And really, if anything, taking out the head helps us even more getting him back. I don't see how. Other than it being dangerous, which we knew it was going to be dangerous before we even got to the valley, I don't see how this doesn't benefit all of us. He's jealous.
He's quiet for a second. He thinks about it. And he nods slowly. Well, if you're sure, I can't tell you what it would mean to us. And while I don't know exactly who you should talk to, I can offer a suggestion, maybe as a place to start. But I don't want you rushing in and thinking that you can trust this person. It's just that he has the most contentious relationship with the head.
Fair enough, but it's a place to start.
It is. Maybe I can fill you in on this. And your friends could relax. Get a break.
Kelly
You
will
look a
check.
little bit worse for wear when we found you.
Yeah.
Like you got fucked up real bad by some stuffed animals.
Spotless.
Yeah. Did you know I'm missing part of
Oh,
my
except
soul?
for
No.
except for him. You look great, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like dirt just like immediately slides off of Wayne.
Yep, 100%.
Just easily the cleanest, shiniest person here.
Suspiciously so.
Suspiciously clean. But yeah, I think Kelly will look to the others to make sure that sounds all right with them. And then she'll kind of
Yeah.
give Max a look.
Take your time.
What?
Are you gonna be friendly?
When have I not been?
I'll make sure he stays friendly.
I was gonna say you already have made a mortal enemy of
Ryan?
I was going to no. I was gonna say the child back in Kalefell.
Oh my god.
Maybe don't remind him of that right now.
You know what? If it keeps him distracted from starting more feuds, maybe I will.
No, that's
Kid
fair.
is the Raven Queen.
I was gonna say Ruby, and then I was like, no, that's her mother.
Yeah. Your arch nemesis, Clara, the 8-year-old.
It's Robin's best friend. Be nice.
I don't trust. My sixth sense is telling me don't trust that 8-year-old child.
Mm. Max's sixth sense has never been wrong before.
Never.
Never once. Edmund will hold out an arm to you, Kelly.
Yep.
And we'll start heading for the door. And like right before you leave this particular room in the dormitories, Seamus is gonna call out from the wall, and he sounds a little panicked. His eyes are a little wide, and he's like, Edmund, and Edmund like stops, doesn't look back, like, you can get off the wall, Seamus. And then Seamus like steps away from the wall and with like a sigh of relief. And immediately like makes a beeline for Max and is like, you wanna arm wrestle?
I throw down my shield. I throw down my war battle axe glove. Let's do it, friend.
Yeah, he like sweeps one of the like piles of ragged blankets off of one of the like hot things and just like pops his elbow down and you begin arm wrestling. Um, I'm not gonna make you roll for it unless this is important for you. Like if you need this,
Do I
we can do
win?
that. But um,
I feel like Max needs this. I
I
feel
feel
like-
like
yeah.
I feel like
Max
this has
needs
to be a
know.
roll.
Yeah.
okay,
Gotta
all
be.
right.
If
We
I
can
lose, I
roll it.
will kill this man.
Okay.
Max.
That's
Please
No
reasonable.
one is better than me. That's not
That's a
true. I
reasonable
won't kill him.
response. Okay,
I'm getting
let's-
hungry though.
Well, we just started the stream.
All right.
Should have eaten before we went live.
Why?
Turn this down.
Seamus is looking tasty, is what I mean.
Oh God.
You're not doing a great job of convincing them that we're not really on.
Okay. All right. Well,
All right, what are we
you wanna go
rolling?
ahead?
Sorry, what?
Just
Strength?
I think just roll strength, yeah.
Athletics?
I think just strength.
Can I roll athletics?
Okay, but I get to add his athletics also. I'm
What's his athletics?
not
You
gonna
don't know
tell
that.
you. Yeah, you don't know that. Looks
yeah,
probably pretty
tell
high.
me.
Looks probably pretty high. I don't know. You've been living like that soft, cushy life of the outside world. He spends all day toiling in the factories. So
Damn it.
hard to say.
How much of a
Yeah, all I
beefcake is
do
this
is
guy?
eat Skyline
like a-
chili
It's
and
like a beef cupcake,
lift
or
weights.
He's pretty beefy, but he's like leaner. He looks like he does more cardio than Max for sure.
gotcha.
Oh,
For sure.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be totally clear, Max can't run like a mile.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Bro, roll your
Yeah,
dice.
Yeah, roll your
Don't
dice.
know. Let's go.
Well,
There
you're
you
close.
go.
Egg, 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 egg.
Did you add your athletics to that?
I did.
All right. What'd you get?
That's what I got.
16.
16.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the number. I was just looking at the die.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's a 16.
All right. With a 16,
I'm sweating, bro.
that is I didn't do this on purpose. That is an exact stalemate.
Yeah, I think in that case we don't stop.
Yeah.
That's
you
just what we're
keep
doing in
going.
the background.
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna start asking him questions, getting to know him.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he'll
Well, we're just
happily
like-
answer them.
So you've been
he
here
does
long?
not- yeah. My whole life.
Sounds tough.
Yeah. What about you? You been here long?
No.
Good. Yeah. It's a bad place.
I could probably be here forever though.
I could be here forever. Probably will be here forever. Probably die here.
Yeah? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You want to die here?
No. No, I don't. I would die.
Anyway.
I'd happily die anywhere else.
Me and Seamus are becoming quickly best
Yeah.
friends.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Meanwhile, Kelly, you and Edmund take a little bit of a walk.
Yep.
There are not many places to go. You pass a few more of the open rooms, and you see more people inside on the same sort of cots, but they studiously mind their own business. They don't really look up. They don't really acknowledge. They don't appear to be taking much of anything in. And Edmund, as you walk past a few of those rooms, breaks the silence and says, for everything that I said has gotten better since you left. Some things have not. I think there are fewer and fewer folks willing to take the risk to speak out or act. They're scared. I don't blame them.
No. No, I can't say I blame them either. When we were separated, I thought a lot of us would have died, and I can only imagine that when you guys tried to get to the head, maybe some of you died.
Yeah.
That can't be good for building people's hopes.
No, it's not much of a selling point, if I'm honest. Still, eternally grateful for everyone we do have. And now you're here. You and your very strange companions.
Yeah, they are an odd group, I will admit. But
You know, it's
we
strange. I can't remember you ever mentioning any of them, but it seems like you've known each other for a very long time.
we knew each other as children, and it's one of those things where, some things as a child you don't forget, and some people you don't forget, and there are some people who, when you see them again, it's like you pick up where you left off as if nothing changed, and as absolutely odd and chaotic as they are, it's those three. But they yes, pretty much. But they understand some of, not everything that happened the first time I was here, but they understand enough. And they're supportive in this. I trust them to help us with this.
Not sure I understand everything that went on the last time you were here.
I suppose that would be true. There is I was only here with you and the others for 4 months, and then I think it was almost a year, 11 months maybe, where the undead were experimenting, fiddling. I don't know. I don't remember all of it. I don't. There are some days where I don't think that they took me apart in any way, and then there are days when I think that they must have. I don't know. They did something.
Did they
I don't know if they did
do
it on purpose.
did they do this to you? Did you and your companions, they make you into
Mm.
this?
No. This is actually a recent development. This happened in the slums. There's a creature down there who seems just as magic in some ways as some of the undead up here, and she did this to us as a favor to help us get around easily. She She says it'll be temporary, but it'll be slow to fade, or she can undo it herself if we go back to her. So it's not permanent, but it is authentic.
Hell of a friend.
More Hunter's friend than my friend, I will be quite honest. Hunter did all the arranging, but it worked out, and if it helps in any way, then I guess it'll be worth it, as absolutely unpleasant as it is.
I see. Well, that puts a few things in perspective. I still more than a little surprised you survived. But I'm not one to question good fortune.
What is the name of the person we need to find?
Right, of course, yes. We'll have time for catching up afterwards.
I would prefer to be able to catch up as myself.
Understood. Understood. The name you're looking for is Marius.
Just Marius, no title.
No, not that he needs one. I mean, of course he's on the board. They don't really use titles. But he's clever. I wouldn't underestimate him. He's sneaky. And he's ambitious. Which is why I think he's our best bet.
Do you think, if he's as sneaky as you say, do you think he would honor any kind of a deal we made if he helped us get rid of the head? As far as, and she gestures it around as if to indicate all the people.
I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, they don't need us. And more people are aware of the toll that we take on this place. For whatever reason, he keeps us around. We don't know, but we're not necessary. And more of the dead have been critical of that choice.
What part of the city is he usually located? Do you know?
Our intel, what we have, which is not much, mostly leftovers, but he favors a bar. See, Marius, he came up from nothing. And he favors an establishment in the mid-levels called the Small Death.
Start. It's really all we need right now is a start. Because I'm gonna level with you. Our plans were to try to get the new records of newly received people from the slums, and then probably just let Max scale around on the buildings until he found something interesting. He was very insistent on that plan.
Must really love climbing. He mentions it an awful lot.
He likes to do physical things. I think it makes him feel alive. So,
Poor choice of words. You were checking the
Yeah.
records for one of the people you're looking for. Not the dead one, I'm assuming.
no. Our guide, Eddie Monahan, he helped us get through the gap, and thank you, Pukas.
Thank you.
He helped us get through the gap, and we were going to retain his help for trying to get up to the surface and then maybe find some things necessary for making a quick exit. And when we first arrived, he helped kind of dissuade some members of a gang down there, the Hanged Men, from starting a fight, and I guess they took that personally because they took the first opportunity he was alone to sell him up. And, the undead aren't the most fond of the smugglers in the slums.
Afraid it's worse than that. Because nobody by that name has been brought here. Which means your guide had some powerful enemies.
He went by not by choice, but he had the nickname Dead Eddie, so I can only imagine he's gotten himself into some kind of trouble more than once. I can't say I'm entirely surprised, but that does complicate finding him.
Was he grafted?
Stop it.
Sorry, I just
Sorry.
asked a question, that's all.
No, I'm sorry. Brandy found a toilet paper roll and she's getting ready to shred it. Don't you dare. No. No, you're being evicted.
Oh, big landlord hours. What is it? Is it just pet? Why would I make it that? That's stupid. There we go.
It was Pet Alert, not Pest Alerts.
I know,
She
it should
found-
be. It should be.
She found the paper towel roll that I was using when I was cleaning off the bones, and she was like, ooh, I'm gonna shred it. Little demon.
Casual bone cleaning.
Casual
As
bone
you
cleaning.
do.
I heard that.
Casual.
Just a
Everyone
normal,
thinks Max is
regular
weird.
bone cleaning.
It's fine.
Deer bones. They're all
That is sick,
deer.
though.
That's not true. I did find one of my own teeth.
What?
So just your teeth?
Well,
Teeth
What?
bone.
What?
this is the stream now. We're done with the game. Excuse me?
What?
Bone show and tell.
Yeah, bone and tell. Nope, not that.
Well, phrasing on that one.
Heard it as soon as I said it.
You can't take it back.
Someone please
That is
capture
true.
that moment. in a
I'm
clip
literally
and-
trying to clip it
Don't
right
clip
now.
it. Don't clip it. Don't clip it. That's not necessary.
No, you need to, and you need to give it to Heather for the TikTok.
Ting
No.
tong.
The TikTok? No, we don't need that. We don't need that. I've gotten too comfortable doing a podcast where I can just edit out anything that is bad or not interesting or dumb. I can't do that here. But anyway, I guess that's enough bone talk. So, good stuff. Good
At
stuff.
least until
Good work.
Sunday.
At least, yeah, that's true. Quick plug for Academy H. Come back on Sunday. Anyway,
For bones.
for more bone talk, if that's your
Yeah.
thing.
So he asked if he was grafted.
Yeah, was he grafted?
I think so. It was unclear. He's missing an arm, but he could definitely do things that were on the unnatural side of things. So something was done to him. Unclear, of course, as it always is, if he asked for it or not.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much confirms it one way or another. Either he was somebody's pet the whole time and was brought home, or someone wanted to punish him. So they slapped a bit of the dead on him and sent him back down to the slums.
Didn't seem polite to ask at the time, but now it makes everything more complicated. Everything's complicated these days.
No kidding.
Is that one new? Have we had that one this whole time?
It's here the whole time, but only I can use it, and it's triggered by command. It's not a channel point thing.
How dare!
Oh, did you miss it, Corey?
I didn't see it.
Dang. There it is.
First of all, yep, I like that a lot.
Approved. How dare you? Stamp of approval. Anyway, yeah. So that's going to be another thing. And I mean, if you can somehow strike a deal with Marius, I imagine he could help you find just about anybody you're looking for. But again, I'm sure he's not going to do it out of the goodness of his heart. And I want you to be careful with that.
I will be. And I'll try to be just as conniving and sneaky as he plans to be, and I won't be alone. So
I don't suppose you got anything. I don't suppose you brought any other ways of turning undead so that I could come with you.
unfortunately, I did not. I wouldn't want you to experience this if I had. It's not pleasant.
I mean, I would. I would.
I know.
But that I'll be here. We'll all be here, and don't take too long.
I promise.
All right. You've pretty much reached the end of the hallway at this point. Absolutely nothing to see here, unfortunately. No, it is not the most interesting walk you've ever taken.
It is a great
Just
bunker.
a lot of. It is a great bunker, sadly. But back in the room with the misery shift, I imagine Max and Seamus are still kind of stalemated
Making out.
at this
What?
point. Making out? What?
Oh
Who
yeah,
said that?
no.
Is that how it's escalated?
We're just like with every like sweaty grip, we just get closer and closer, stare deeper into each other's eyes. No, I'm just joking.
Your
Max
lips
is
are so sweaty.
so sweaty.
Just like
The romance.
anyway,
Max,
no, yep.
Max is still.
we were still still.
Max is. You're still rebounding from Ryan.
Oh, I don't even
Because
want to think about that, man. Disgusting.
it hurts too much.
No one will
It hurts
care.
that I never got to give him a swirly.
Is that what you call it?
Swirling your tongue inside his
Um,
mouth.
Oh, good. Glad we said exactly what it was. Really hitting the single entendre here on stream tonight. By now, the people have gathered around. The shift and the other more lively workers have kind of gathered around and are sort of cheering for one side of the other. There's a fairly like raucous amount of noise coming from the room as people are very invested at this point. It's been going on for so
Nice.
long. Nobody
Are
knows who's
people
going to
from
cave
the
first.
misery shift? Are they cheering for me too, or is it just?
I mean, you
like,
don't know if
just
they're
most
you don't know if
Seamus?
they're cheering for you, but they're like arguing with each other about who's going to win.
Oh, nice.
But there are
I'm
definitely
cheering
some
for
people
you.
cheering on Seamus. Yeah, Wayne is cheering for you.
Hunter's cheering
Um,
as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter's not
Aw.
going to leave Max hanging.
Hunter.
They don't know what they're doing,
Imagine-
but they're trying.
Imagine Hunter cheering for Seamus.
Rude.
Definitely
Hunter-
getting away.
Hunter
Uh,
is that jealous of this interaction that he backs Seamus out of spite.
Goes full high school, like
Just
petty.
middle of the thing. No longer backing Max. No, they're still
Yeah,
backing
no,
Max.
I like that. Cool.
Wayne and Hunter. You both, I'm going to say, can roll perception checks. Max, I'm going to say you're a little too engrossed.
That's fine.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
He would
Max,
miss.
I
you
don't
want to roll
like
with
that.
disadvantage.
Of course. I don't think
Okay.
my perception is very good to begin with.
I think your perception is insane, isn't it?
Is it? No, my
I don't
perception
know.
is +0.
Oh, okay. Maybe Hunter's perception is insane.
Yeah, no, mine's insane. That's a
Okay.
22.
All right.
It's a
22.
thick
Got a nat
nine.
1.
Thick 9 and a nat 1. Good. Go away. Okay, whatever. Figure that
Max
out.
is blind.
I'm straining
eyes
so
are sweating
hard.
so
Yeah,
hard,
I'm
he can't
straining
see.
so
Yeah.
hard.
all
Like
he sees,
I
all
can't
he
hear
sees
anymore.
are just deadlocked into Seamus's eyes.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
red and then like Seamus's eyes.
It's like in a cartoon when like heart eyes explode outward. Like that, but he
Except
can't
Except for
in
it's
this-
fire
it's
eyes.
just your-
It's 2 punches.
That's a lot more romantic than like your optic nerve detaching, which is what I was going to go with. So let's
Oh.
stick with that one. But yeah,
Oh, boy.
you don't pick up on anything. Neither you, Wayne. You're too engrossed in cheering. You're way too excited. This is kind of your whole thing.
Mhm.
And
Convincing others to cheer for me.
convincing others to cheer for you. But Hunter, you hear a vague noise. You're not exactly. It takes you a little while to realize exactly that. It takes you a little while to realize that you're hearing something separate from like the din of people cheering and being excited about the arm wrestling match. But sure enough, as you do, as it gets closer and louder, you are able to distinguish from all of the cheering voices the sound of, you would guess, a couple of voices yelling as they get closer. They seem to be slowly drawing closer, and as you detect that they exist, that they're separate from the rest of the yelling people, you just hear people saying, "Sweep, sweep. It's a sweep." Sounds almost bored.
And so Hunter's going to grab Wayne's shoulder
For sure.
and say, Wayne, someone's coming. They're saying it's a sweep.
Oh no.
Wayne, can
Wayne?
you get everyone's attention?
I'm gonna use my channel divinity and push a wave of fear out. So like silently, just like eyes glass over and just like almost palpable, just like a freezing wind just emanating from Wayne.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
And then just whisper, "Everybody shut the fuck up." And, like that carries on the wind. Everybody shut the fuck up.
So, I mean, is that targeted or like are you
It's like a
just gonna
30-foot
suddenly-
range.
Oh my
Okay.
It's just to everybody.
Okay.
dick.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
And so the thought here
that
is
one.
that when they're scared,
It's more
They
just to get
will-
everybody's attention and to like
Sure,
essentially
sure.
cease noise
okay.
is the intention.
Understood. Understood.
And hope that like
I'm into that.
speak softly and carry it out along this wave. It's supposed to be like, everybody quiet, the cops are here! Everybody run!
Well, right.
Drop your cops!
What I was trying to,
Jesus.
yeah, the band lit starts playing in the background. Everybody scatters.
Oh my
They-
god.
Oh my
They throw
God.
their red solo cups on the ground.
Max and
Um,
Anus are still locked in arms, but they're running side by side.
They're holding hands now.
Me and Anus.
you know that's not my name.
Shh.
You're getting it wrong on purpose. Okay. So yeah, the thing that I was trying to figure out is like, would causing everybody in this room to be afraid, would it just incite panic, or would it like make
That's a good
everybody be
point.
quiet? But
Mm.
I mean, I'm down to go with it.
Like
Yeah, okay,
deer
cool.
fear.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Deer fear.
right,
yeah, like
exactly.
like deer, like
Yeah.
Deer
Or
in
like when the
headlights.
teacher is like, I'm gonna count
Yeah.
to 3, and you're like, oh shit, I hope they don't get to 3.
Sure. I'm super down to say that I think maybe this is like a non-mechanical like flavor only application of your aura where you're just kind of you're not doing it at like full strength. You're just sort of sending out a vibe.
For sure.
Mm.
Cool. So yeah, everybody
Love
does the mood does like die down pretty much right away. Everybody sort of falls silent. Like you mentioned the deer in the headlights thing. People look startled and scared. What are the three of you doing?
Does it work if I got a nat 1 on perception?
Does what work?
Wayne's. I guess it's a question for Wayne.
Fear?
Yeah.
Fear.
So there's no mechanical.
You might
effect on this.
actually
If you're
get
like,
scared. I think it's like everybody. I assume like everybody is like kind of silenced and looking in my direction, and just be like, just making like whatever hand signals to be like, everybody listen, they're coming through the door.
So Max, you feel that edge of fear, but you're not like
Mm.
panicked or anything like that.
What Seamus doing?
Seamus is gonna listen to Wayne. Seamus is gonna like let go of your hand and stand up and like move to rejoin the rest of the misery shift.
Finish this later.
Like, it is the wrong hand. For sure, is the wrong hand.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So yeah, they're standing around. Are you three making like any effort to like hide yourselves? What do you want to do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hunter's going to be like, should we hide? I feel like we should hide.
Should we hide though? Cause we're dead.
Why are we in here? You know.
Yeah. How would we explain that? I don't know if we have enough time to even be debating this.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think.
I mean,
in
you
an
can
effort-
hear them. You can hear them getting closer. You can hear the calls of sweeps. You'd guess that they're like pretty
Mm.
much like 1 or 2 rooms over.
Gotcha. And are Edmund and are you guys back yet?
You have
Are
not
they
seen
working
them.
their way back? Okay.
Nope.
If Enos is the guy in charge, I want to just like kind of, especially if he drops his hand, he's paying attention. I want to grab him, not by the shoulders, because that's somebody else's thing. I'm gonna be like, "You need to hide us right now. Where do we go?"
All right.
Kiss on the cheek.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say okay. Yeah, I'm gonna roll a check. Don't worry about it.
Sick.
And we'll see.
If this is for listen, Seamus and I are best friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do us dirty, Seamus.
No, you're probably fine.
I don't like that.
Where did it roll?
Okay.
Oh, okay. For some reason it only did it there. That's fine.
Pretty good 11.
Yeah,
11s.
that's fine. That's not bad. Okay. Okay. Seamus.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Seamus, with an 11, is going to take. He looks panicked for a second, and he lifts up the like smock that he is wearing, and kind of like just tosses it over your head and lets it fall so that you are covered by it as well.
I'm gonna rip that smock off and then turn
What?
to Hunter. And what am I gonna hide under the sheet like a ghost?
Wait, are
You got an
we?
11.
can
You can
you-
take your chances
Yeah,
with it.
that's fine. So I was thinking,
Well-
all right, I would turn to Hunter and Max and say, "Follow my lead," and then cast disguise self to make myself look
I can
like
also.
one of the people that live here. Go ahead.
I will. Is there a wall nearby? Like, are we in an area where I could just climb?
Climb up the walls. The roof.
You are in a room. Yes.
But like, how high is the ceiling?
I
People
mean,
don't look up.
probably Not very.
It's like a concrete box, right?
Yeah, it's basically just a concrete box, so you can climb up to the ceiling if you want to.
Yeah, I was going to.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will scoop up Hunter onto my back and.
Interesting.
I'm just saying, y'all were real judgmental about Seamus's smock plan when your plan is people don't look up.
I think I feel pretty good about Seamus's plan at this moment. I'm just gonna decide self, give myself some more rosy cheeks, just look unassuming in the same outfit everybody else is wearing.
Absolutely. If you don't want to use a spell slot, you can use your spider.
That's what I
You can
mean.
use
'Cause
your
I
trade
can't disguise
Okay,
self,
cool.
but I'll use the
Oh,
spider.
that's
It's-
right.
Yeah.
We do have our spiders.
You do have your
Max
dream
from the
weed.
That's-
ceiling
Yes.
sees.
Oh,
sees
that's
Wayne.
right.
As soon as I see Wayne like use a spider, I'm like, oh yeah, and then just drop from the ceiling, holding on to
God, that's such a
Hunter.
better plan.
Poor Hunter, just along for the ride at this
Hunter's
point.
just like, I guess this is happening.
Yeah, I guess.
Wayne is like trying to do hand motions and stuff. He's like, in your ear, spider.
Oh. Boom. And then just okay, yeah, same.
Yeah,
Make
same.
Okay.
myself look
All right.
human. Oh wait! I go, Kelly Violet, come in. There is a sweep. Disguise yourself.
Kelly. Kelly, as you are walking down the hallway back to the rooms, for the first time, your Wyvern badge.
Sick.
You hear it, almost you hear it in your ear. You hear Max's voice say your name and then tell you that there's a sweep happening of the room.
It definitely startles her at first because this is the first time it's actually worked. This is the first time we've actually been. And so like she pauses and then she like
I
looks
know.
around a little bit and then she looks at Edmund and she says, "There's a sweep coming."
He like freezes and looks like he's not sure what to do. He hesitates 100%. And you like turn a corner right at that moment pretty much, and you see the entrance to the room, and walking down are two, like almost right in front of it, are two undead in the gray coveralls of the workers with like batons of some kind.
Is there any chance I could try to roll a stealth to kind of like slip back around the corner and then
Yeah.
use the spider?
Yeah, go for it. Roll stealth.
Where is my stealth? Where is it? Bishop +5. Don't hurt me, roll 20. Don't do it.
I know it's
Is
fine.
it,
Wait, we have it. We have inspiration ones. Wait, do we? Don't have any.
That's why it's not
All right.
showing up. Yeah, you have like 5.
Probably have a
15.
bunch. We never use them.
Okay.
15 on stealth.
I know.
15's
Get too
I
scared.
feel like we
15's pretty
save them
good.
for when
Should've
we're in a
given it to
fight.
Shane.
At least I
Yes.
save them for when we're in a fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you just probably just need them. So yeah, with a 15,
Good
you
use.
can like duck back around the corner and like drag Edmund with you. You're fairly confident you were not seen.
Yeah.
At least you don't hear them reacting in any way.
I'm gonna say as softly as I can. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do something. Don't freak out. And then I will activate the spider to get it to. Similarly to Wayne, I look like a living version of myself, but I am dressed in the workers
Smock,
uniform, as it were.
basically. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yes, you that change sort of washes over you from the head down. It doesn't look inherently creepy, even though there is a weird sensation. Like you can feel it sort of wriggling against your brain.
I can feel the spider moving, and I don't like it.
100%. And then you can, you appear human now. You appear alive.
All right.
You go back around the corner.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, is it better to try to get into a room that they haven't swept yet, or to just try to get back to the room you're supposed to be in?
No, they'll know to look for me.
All right, let's go.
You round the corner and you start walking down. And pretty much as soon as you do, now that you're not trying to be stealthy, the one of them is going to take note of the two of you and is going to like push his chest out a little bit, like start meandering towards you. Doesn't seem rushed. Doesn't seem particularly concerned about it, and barks out, "Fizz, what are you doing out of bunk?" Edmund says, "I just taking a walk around the floor." The undead, as it's getting closer, kind of like does a little like dance, clearly meant to make fun of him. It's like, "Oh, just taking a little walk around the floor, were we? Wow, how lovely, you and your little lady friend having a nice little constitutional, as it were, isn't it?" Edmund does not say anything in reply. He just kind of stands there, very neutral expression on his face, very impassive looking. The undead does not seem very happy about not getting a reaction, not getting a response. Like stops joking around and starts sort of idly tapping the baton against like the outside of his leg. And is like, do you need to be taught a lesson? Edmund also doesn't say anything in reply to that. Doesn't respond. And the undead gets a little bit closer and says, "I said, do you need to be taught a lesson?" And when he doesn't receive a response again, he's going to turn to you, Kelly. And he's going to say, "Well, maybe she needs to be taught a lesson."
Have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Given given our current strange status, would turn undead affect us?
Oh.
You have no way of knowing that. And
Ugh.
in fact, I would even go so far as to ask if you've ever turned undead before.
we
Because,
did it
the
the
that's
first
true.
Kelly's done it the first time down when we were on the meat wagon. And it did not-
the zombies.
It did not affect me then,
Well, right, yeah.
but I don't know if it will affect us now.
You can roll the dice on that, quite literally. Ha.
Should I do it? Should I test fate in this way?
I don't know. You could start a riot. Yeah, you could turn to undead. That's a thing you could do. Totally up to you if you want to. He is going to, at that moment, as you were trying to make up your mind about this, as you were sort of weighing the pros and cons, he is going to raise that rod over his head. You can see it sort of like crackle with electricity as he does so. And he's pretty clearly like raising it to bring it down on you, Kelly. He's going to hit you with it. Or he's going to try to anyway.
He can try.
If you want to do a thing, we will have to roll initiative because Edmund is definitely about to do a thing.
I assume he would. I'm just double checking. I could risk it. Well, so here's the thing. If I did it in this hallway, the only undead is me. And did the other undead go into the room or did it stay out in the hallway?
It's kind of standing outside of the room watching. Like,
Is it within
looks-
30 feet of me?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the only person at risk would be myself, and I would have to make a DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
True. Unless Edmund is undead, and you don't know it yet.
Oh no! Then he has to make a wisdom DC 13 saving throw.
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Yeah. I'll roll
Okay,
initiative
well.
to see when I'm allowed to do it. But I'll do it.
Sure. That sounds good.
Initiative +2.
Where are they in relation to us?
Yeah.
So you can really only see the one that is standing outside the door, basically leaning on the door frame and kind of looking idly amused by whatever's going on out there. And I think you can hear the one undead because he's being loud enough as he's threatening both Edmund and Kelly. But you can't see him or see what's happening down the hall.
Got an 18 on my initiative.
Sick.
I see that. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool roll. Sorry, I'm just checking on one setting here. Trying to figure out. Okay, cool. Yes. There's the thing. Yep. All right. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, you it raises its hand. You got a 16. Did you say?
18.
18. Okay. Wow. Actually. All right. Let me go ahead and update that. If the rest of you would like to roll initiative now, I assume you're going to get involved.
Probably.
Feel free.
Absolutely.
And I will add those as they come up for these lads. I'm not going to worry about a battle.
These lads.
That's an interesting
Jesus.
development. And I will need your rolls in just a second.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
Well,
Y'all are
Are those did you guys do good rolls?
Oh yeah, we did. We
Really
did great
good.
rolls. We did the best
excellent
rolls.
Okay.
Super good.
Give me those rolls. JD, what'd you get?
5.
Good. Good. Off to a strong start. Raph.
18, but I go after Kelly.
Yeah. That makes sense. And Corey.
I got a 2, but I got a nat 1, so might as well call it a 1 for fairness.
No, I don't want to shortchange you. You got it too. Don't worry about it.
Sick. I got a fat 2.
Nice.
It's better than your.
Yeah, I'm not
your,
worried about it. I'm not
You
gonna.
know.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. So actually, what is going to happen, and I think unfortunately there is not much that either of you can do about it, though correct me if I am wrong. What is going to happen is the undead is going to bring that rod down and hit you with it, or at least going to attempt to.
He's gonna
let's see.
attempt.
He is going to attempt.
Can I try to dodge? The start of your next turn.
I mean, leave your armor class.
Oh, I do, but
Yeah, as a reaction, you cannot take the dodge action.
Right.
It's like you can do it as a bonus action, but it has to be on your turn. Or actually, I think it might just be an action, honestly. But anyway,
it's dodge is confusing to me. I will be completely honest. I don't understand.
yeah, that's fair.
The bonus action
Yeah.
for the rogue.
Okay.
See if he hits me.
Outsourcing a rules question. If a weapon were to have additional energy damage on a crit, would you double roll that as well, or what?
If it's like a d6 of physical and a d6 of, let's say, thunder, you would roll
Mhm.
2d6 of thunder, 2d6 of physical.
You double
Right.
all dice
That's
rolled.
what I thought.
Double all dice rolls.
So like
Cool.
damage,
Alright,
which is
that
just
makes
a
sense.
set number, is not doubled.
That makes
You got
sense.
The
Okay.
dice. So you rolled a nat 1, right?
I did.
How
yeah,
many?
What are you saying?
How many nat 20s did you get? It's the real question.
Just one, but it is actually the second one in a row. So that's the Amherst Dice guarantee. Amherstdice.com. I don't know if that's the real website. It's probably not.
Last I looked, there wasn't
Yeah,
a website.
There may not be a website. Kelly,
Mhm.
you get hit very hard with this baton. It feels like getting hit with a club. That's not a huge deal, but then electricity surges throughout your body. It's not great. .ca. Amherstdice.ca. You are going to take, unfortunately, 16 points of damage.
Okay. Can he make a dex saving throw for me? Because I'm going to use my reaction to shock him right back.
He can make a dex. He can make a dex saving throw. In fact, that'll be an interesting development. 14, and that's 16.
Okay, he passes. So technically,
Okay.
he would be. So he's going to take half of. What is it? 2. Where did it just go? I just had it.
Actually, real talk. I
He's-
also used this die on Sunday when we played Pathfinder, Justin, and Julia can confirm that it also rolled a bunch of nat 20s in that game.
It did. Which we love to see it. Okay, so he's gonna take half of 2d8 of lightning damage
Okay.
right back.
Let me know how much that is.
I hate roll 20
one?
so much.
Is that
One and a
1
2.
point of damage?
It is.
Yep.
So I'm just
It's
gonna
halved.
zap him. I'm just gonna zap him a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, he
Roll
gets
20
zapped.
and
He gets zapped, but I think it is such a small amount of damage that he actually like after he hits you, he kind of like gets the zap back, and he like looks down at he like starts examining it. Like, did this thing just like backfire? Like, what is happening? Is it broken? So he does not seem particularly bothered by 1 point of damage.
Didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I cannot blame him.
That's how it goes. However, at that moment, perhaps overreacting, a very angry Edmund Vares is going to like he is going to tear open the front of his worker's smock, and underneath you see a like glittering it's a little bit hot.
Oh yeah.
Underneath you see a like, you don't know if it's a full suit of chainmail, you don't know if it's just a chain shirt or what, but you do see like chainmail underneath. And what he does is he rips that open, and then he sets his hand against it, and the individual links of the chainmail start to separate. They very quickly surge up his arm and configure themselves into what looks like maybe some kind of arcane cannon that he is then going to point directly into this undead who is like it's like smacking his baton against his hand like, are the batteries dead? What is happening? And he's going to point it directly at this thing's face and set it off. So what that is going to look like, sorry, I have his sheet here, but he has a lot of things on it.
Accurate.
God love him.
Okay. Yes. All right. Cool.
That's sick.
It's
Chainmail
pretty
cannon arm blaster.
Yeah. All right. Where's the thing? How does it attack? Sorry, everybody.
You have the thing, but how does it work?
This is 100% a thing he can do. All of the rules are like for attract it, summon, blah 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 blah. Why is this not okay? All right, whatever. I'm exactly how it works. I've decided how it works. Cool. All right. It is going to discharge a blast, a literal hand cannon blast, directly into this thing's face. He is going to roll to attack. I will give him advantage on it. Or no, he's going to make the undead is going to make a dexterity saving throw, but I'm going to give him disadvantage on it because he was not expecting this. Shockingly,
Surprise.
I don't think any of us were.
No, not at all. Okay, those are almost the same. He does have disadvantage though, so cool. Yeah, all right. He is going to take some damage from that. You did 1 point of damage, and now he is going to take some more. Okay. Yeah, this thing goes off like a cannon directly in this thing's face. It shoots this like orange blast of energy out in a cone that engulfs this thing's entire head, and when it clears away, some of the flesh has been burned off of its face, but it is undead. It doesn't seem particularly bothered by that. He is looking shocked. He's looking more surprised than anything. It's almost comical how like he gets blasted in the face, and then you can see like patches of bone underneath where the skin is burned away, and he's just kind of standing there with like a very confused expression on his face. And yeah, that is pretty much exactly what Edmund does on his turn. The other undead is going to move towards you, is going to very quickly start moving towards you. He is going to be able to reach you. He quickly decides that Edmund is the bigger threat between the two of you, and is going to try to attack Edmund, who unfortunately does not currently have his armor bonus. So we will see how that goes.
Oh boy.
Not well. So
Probably not.
the undead goes to raise the baton and hit. The undead goes to raise the baton and hit Edmund with it. Edmund, reacting quickly, sort of pivots the hand that has the chainmail cannon wrapped around it, which the side of it flattens to catch the baton blow, and the electricity sort of surges harmlessly over the chain links. And he seems fine. Now that all of that is sorted out, Julia, Kelly,
Yep.
you are first, and then Max.
All right. Oh, welp. So it seems silly to use turn undead now when it's clear that we just have to kill them, because otherwise they will be. They will definitely be reporting on our actions.
Tis possible.
Yeah. Very, very possible. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slash at him with the great axe that I have acquired from Max. So let me just... If Roll20 chooses to like me.
See how that goes.
16.
It's not bad.
Is that a hit?
That was your attack roll?
That is my attack roll.
I'm pretty sure that is a hit. And this is the one that just got blasted in the face, right?
Yes.
That is a
So
hit,
just gonna
yes.
kind of like sweep it. All right, so that's going to be... It's max damage for 13 points. And then because Edmund is standing right beside me, does that count as being in melee with him so that I can do sneak attack as well?
It does.
Okay, so I can do an extra 2d6. Which just, the butterfly knife comes out. Five more points of damage, and then the last thing
Okay.
I will do with my bonus action is I'm gonna put spiritual weapon out over by the second undead, the one who came up by the door. And that I also, when it appears, I have the chance to try to hit. So I will try to hit him as well. I don't know if
Okay.
I will, but I will try.
Okay.
That is also a 16. That's
Okay.
5.
I mean, that's a hit, yes.
Okay, and he's gonna take 1d8 plus 2 of...
Okay, so I will say this.
yes.
I never want to deny anyone the cool shit that they're gonna do, but he is dead after the sneak attack. So if you want to redirect the spiritual weapon, you can do that.
The spiritual weapon is going towards the second one.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's fine then. All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. The spiritual weapon was for the other boy. 5 points of damage.
You got something for him too. Okay, cool. Yeah, he takes 5 points of damage. He gets electrocuted, a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. He definitely is less confused about the source of this damage, as there is now a glowing maul orb in front of him. Not that he knows what a maul is. The other one is very dead. Again, how do you do it? What does it look like?
I think because of the disguise, they can't see that I am, in fact, carrying these weapons. So it kind of just seemingly almost out of nowhere, because until it's like in her hand, she just brings up the axe, just kind of like an underhanded swing, just right into like the side, like under the ribs. And then as it like folds kind of like by the impact of that, she brings up the butterfly knife and jams it right like here.
Okay.
Straight through.
All right.
Like
very
just
cool.
very quickly in rapid succession. Just
yeah, he drops immediately, dead before he even realizes it. And you electrocute the other one. You did max damage with your axe strike, and now it is Max Damage's turn.
Max damage.
Max Damage has 2 questions for you, DM.
Yes.
Where are we in this situation? I know you said we are kind of away, so we don't necessarily see what's going on.
So you are just barely 30 feet away from Edmund and Kelly.
Okay.
The guard who was outside of the door has like moved away, but is yeah. So basically you're 30 feet away from where the action is at the moment.
If you look out the door,
And-
you see it.
Yes.
Gotcha. And there was only, so I guess it's 3 questions. There's only 2 guards then.
Now there is one, but yes.
Right, originally.
Yeah.
3rd question is, we're undead. Can we eat them?
Max.
Well, I think real world logic applies and like you can eat anything.
Cannibalism is a part of the
You
human
know,
society
well,
and
Is
the
there
history of society.
nutritional value to it?
Yeah,
To
if you
eating
try
a
hard
Nutritional
enough.
density.
Could like
Are you
There is
asking if
nutritional
like
value
Because
to
we can
all
eat human
proteins.
meat, right?
Shh.
Can we eat undead meat?
Yeah, but you could do that when you were alive too.
Max, you're gonna get prions.
I'm stupid. Let's go.
Are you asking like do they meet your macros for the day or like what is the question?
Yeah.
I always meet my macros.
Yeah, okay. Like are they anabolic? I don't know.
They don't need to taste good.
Yeah.
As soon as I see the second guard kind of go over there,
hmm
I'm guessing we can assume there's some sus behavior.
I mean, yeah, you hear
Um,
like the sounds of violence. You maybe even hear Kelly get
sick. Okay. I turn to Seamus and I give him a wink and then I sprint out the door.
hit. Seamus, who is now standing there in like just a loincloth because Wayne ripped his smock.
It's an
Threw it on the
aggressive, manly wink.
That's fine
Pick up
because
his
Max
watch
can
this.
sew it back up for him when this is over.
That's true. I absolutely
Oh,
can.
damn. What a tender moment.
And I run out there. I see that there's only one dude left. And I'm going to just like come at him from behind and go as if I'm gonna punch him, and at the last second, trigger the great axe glove and like slash at him.
Cool.
Yeah,
is very
try to
cool.
cut his head off.
That is very cool.
Okay.
I will point out just like a quick point of order. When you were about to arm wrestle Seamus, you did make a big show of taking off all your weapons and putting them on the ground, including your.
Oh, did I? I thought I. Okay,
Ooh.
this is my bad. I thought I had mentioned that when we heard the sweep was coming, I picked my stuff up, but maybe I just said it in my head.
I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Because I will drop it. I will just punch him.
I'm down for whatever you think will be more fun for you.
Weapons. Yeah.
I would
I'm
agree.
not going to leave my weapons on the floor for someone to
Right.
just take.
Like Seamus.
Okay. So, yeah, I go to punch, and then there's also slashing. And that's going to be a 16.
That is.
Okay, sick. How bad's he looking? Or is he fresh?
Well, how much damage do you do?
Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Embarrassing mistake. So embarrassing. I do 17 damage.
Jesus.
Kelly, how much did you do?
5.
+8?
You did 17.
Yeah.
He's immediately dead. How do you do it?
How is your damage bonus +8?
I assume you're raging, right?
No.
+4 because of your strength. Where's the
Uh-huh.
other +4 come from?
I don't know. It's just on my
You know what?
character.
I don't know. I just know I have it written down as +8. There's a specific, because my attack bonus is also, it's a +1 great axe.
Okay.
Right.
So +4, +1, +5.
Plus 3 is 8.
There you go.
So
There we go.
Bingo,
Okay.
bingo, bongo.
math.
Thank you.
That's math.
I was like,
I mean,
I've
you
been
do-
cheating this whole time.
You do more damage when you're raging, so maybe that's your raging damage. But I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not. No,
Okay.
I always just add 2 afterwards when I'm raging.
I
Yeah, it
don't
is
know that.
proficiency bonus. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's +1 plus proficiency.
Oh
plus
man,
my
we get to
strength.
add proficiency bonus to damage. I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
No, you don't.
Wait, no, you don't. You don't.
That's what I mean. I'm like,
Wait, where is this coming from? I
don't
feel like
know.
I have it written down.
I don't mean to rules lore my own team. Anyway, this guy's super dead, right?
Yeah, I mean he.
Plus
well,
No, it shouldn't.
I guess that depends. If you did
So it's 14 points of damage.
yeah, if you did 14 points of damage, he is not dead, just
Oh,
barely.
shit.
But
Sorry, Max.
But you
It's
got a
fine. No, no,
second.
no. I get to attack, so he will die. But
He will die. You just need to figure out what's going on.
I will look at my notes because
I mean, in
I don't
older
know.
versions,
We'll look it up on break.
Yeah, in older versions, you got more damage if you were doing two-hand
Yeah.
strikes, but I don't know
I
if that's
feel like it
still
would
the
be.
case.
It's very rookie mistake of me to add proficiency. So
It's all good. We'll
sorry,
figure it out on
friends.
break.
It's still a 14. Anyway, I see that he's still alive, and I come at him
Alive.
again. Still standing. So I punch him once, and then I'm just going to like reverse punch him, like reverse like slice at him.
Okay,
With the same hand.
axe punch.
And that is a 13 damn
Let's
it.
go.
I mean that hits. 13 hits.
What? Seriously?
I mean, they're
DM, you're
wearing-
too
they're
kind.
wearing, like, coveralls.
Yeah, you're too kind.
Overalls.
Wearing armor.
Oh, that's
Yeah, like they're
They're
just
wearing
wearing
some
Carhartts.
dungarees. All right, I will change this to +4 so before we can double check. Okay, 14 damage.
now he's super dead.
Okay, and so as I kind of cut, I cut him a little bit, but what I really want is right before the light leaves his eyes is just my big mouth to be like,
Oh, you
I want to bite
biting
him.
him? You gonna bite him?
Yeah.
You gonna eat him?
Well, I'm gonna slice him, and then while he's like, no, I'm like,
For flavor, you're gonna bite him.
for funsies.
Okay. All right. You can do it. In fact,
do
you
it.
do it. Yeah.
I do it. Yeah, no,
you kill
100%.
him?
I do it.
The last thing he sees
Sick.
is your jaws closing on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't taste good.
It's fine.
Okay.
And then I spit on him and I look at Kelly and I say, you know, they eat people. So we gotta eat them back. You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't gotta, but thank you, Max.
I-
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Max, you take a bite. You don't feel
do
like your
take a bite.
macros are met. You don't feel like you're getting a lot of nutritional value from this. But yeah.
Taking a
You
bite out
guys
of a
are
rotten
wild.
apple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think about, right? Like they've been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, rigor mortis and things like that. A lot of the protein and like the good
I
things
swallowed
about
it. It's
have,
fine. It's too
yeah,
late.
okay.
It's
All right, well,
there's no thought in that.
sure.
It's just
sure.
biting.
Absolutely.
Thoughts? That empty.
I thought it would look cool.
It did.
And I turn around and I wipe my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, everybody looks terrified. And like I think there's a moment where like Edmund kind of like shifts and like points the cannon at you.
Kelly's like, no.
Like looks at Kelly and is like not sure. Like, what is this? Is this normal? What is
She's
what are we doing
like,
here?
She's like, he's. There's actually a word for this, and I'm forgetting what it is.
Hungry.
No.
So hungry.
Less hungry now, I suppose. Slightly.
He's a growing boy.
It's dinner
Boy,
time.
doesn't have any salty broth to keep him.
Oh, my salty
keep going.
broth, dude. Should have asked for them to go in
And you ate
bags or
that
something.
foot like a really long time ago,
Oh
so.
my gosh.
What foot?
What are we doing here? Like
Didn't he have the guy who was the conductor? He had meat. I thought it was a.
foot.
I thought
He
it was
did,
foot.
yeah.
Oh, was it a
I'm-
foot?
I'm
I've
pretty sure
just
it
been
was.
imagining it as a hunk of meat, but I still have that on me. I've been taking little apple bites out of it.
Eat
I
one
said
toe
a
at
hunk of
time.
meat. We can say it's a
Oh.
foot if we wanted to go foot.
I remembered a foot. I don't know why
Yes,
I remembered
sick.
a foot.
All right, then it's a foot.
It's like the Berenstain
No, a
Bears.
foot's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
That is a foot.
This is okay.
He's testing the limits of his new reality.
Got it. Okay. Hesitantly, Edmund is going to like lower the cannon arm and sort of set it back against his chest, and the links are going to once again detach and then kind of like slowly like chink, 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 like off level by level, and then reform his armor under his smock.
Kelly will say, "That's new. I don't remember that last time."
Well, you don't work in the magic factories without picking up a thing or two over the years.
Mm.
It's a handy thing indeed. And I'm gonna like reach out to touch the orb, the spiritual weapon, and then dismiss it.
That's new as well. Appears we both got some new tricks up our sleeves.
Not the same person I was 2 years ago, that's for sure. Not all the
I'm
way.
gonna go.
Max, no, come back here.
I mean,
No,
we should
come back
actually
here. Help me
probably-
pick these bodies up.
That's fine.
Come on.
I just sling both of them over my shoulder and then walk away.
Thank you, Max.
Well, that's something we're gonna have to account for.
Him biting people or
These two
Missing
not
sweet-
reporting. These two not reporting back
right.
at the end of their shift. Might take them a while, but folk are gonna come looking.
Well, they won't find him here, so
No. No, they won't. You should get moving, though, as soon as possible.
I will go collect. I will nod and I'll be like, all right, I'll go collect the others then. Are you guys gonna be all right?
We'll manage.
As soon as we have something, we'll be back. So
You head back into the room, and from like the various blanket piles and from under the bunk ledges, you can see the members of the misery shift are like pulling out those sort of half-built casters that they pointed at you when you were first ambushed behind the alley, and then like other sort of roughly made items that you're not sure, what they do exactly, but they basically seem like they're starting to gear up for something. You all sort of reunited. You've got these dead bodies.
we will
Good
take
body.
these out with us when we go. I think.
And
I
you're
think
ready
we'll put
to
them back in the warehouse that the warehouse where I was left to suffer for 11 months.
It's true. Where you killed those Tuskies.
R.I.P.
Tusky.
Those Tuskies full of bits of my soul.
Got a little bit of it back.
Got you back one bit at a time.
Yeah.
One chunk at a time. Like in
One
what
bite
is
at
it,
a-
Legend of Zelda, when you gotta collect all the different pieces of the heart in order to get one.
Mhm.
So yeah, you are setting out for the mid-levels. You're heading for the small death.
Mhm.
I'm going to explain
Wait, what
to
are
the
we doing
others
with
on
these
our way
bodies
out
first?
after we.
Throw them in a dumpster.
You're gonna dump
Nope,
them in the
Not
warehouse.
allowed to be there.
We're gonna dump them in the warehouse with the Tuskies.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I don't know.
No, we weren't just reminiscing about the Tuskies for no reason.
That just absolutely went over my
Yeah,
head.
for real.
You
Gotcha.
guys remember the Tuskies? That was cool. All right. Well, then I think this is a good time to take a break. You take the bodies and you are going to dump them in the warehouse, and then you're going to try to figure out how you move on to the next level.
Should
We
we
will
make
be
it
back.
look like they killed each other?
Yes, Max, we will stage this.
Crime
Murder
of passion.
suicide.
Crime of passion with their electrical batons.
Make it a real hide and seek situation.
Oh my god.
a real what you say?
Oh my god.
All right.
Play
We will be back.
Hide the baton.
We'll be back in like 10 minutes. Don't go away, please. And thank you. See you real soon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the Liar Show.
The show where we lie.
Show where we lie.
Where we lie.
Liars, liars, liars.
Oh,
You guys like
I'm so
cheating?
sorry.
Because we're some big old cheaters.
Don't tell my girlfriend.
What
Jesus.
is the
she's like 10 feet away. So like,
What is
everybody
the-
should be chill.
She just
What is
whipped her
the-
head around.
what is the quote? Like, I'm very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio tonight. Is that what are we
I'm
doing?
so sorry.
It's
Uh,
chaos. That's
is
where
chaos.
Chaos,
Welcome
Chaos
back.
Tuesday.
Everybody's itching for that riot, and like riots
We
take
are.
time, as it turns
Yeah.
out, unfortunately. Unless they're sports riots.
we're. Yeah, we did
Sports
that
rush.
real quick.
Yeah,
We,
those
we
were
had to
immediate.
win the Gretzky Cup.
Yeah. But that wasn't quick. We had to win, because if you don't win,
You're a
That's
the
loser.
other team gets the riot.
And why would I
Yeah.
listen to a loser?
It's true.
Yeah, if you don't win, sorry, I don't make the rules.
I make the rules, but all the same.
Yeah.
All right.
We need,
Uh,
we need to
back
go
in
get
it.
an ally and then have him help us start a
Ally.
riot. But an even more advanced version of a riot called a coup.
Ooh,
Super riot.
we could coup. all right.
Super
Well, first of all, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Welcome back. We are gonna
Yeah, thank you.
hop back on into it. Quick reminder, I guess, if you are so inclined, you can feel free to hit exclamation point surf donate in the chat. Give some money to the Surfrider Foundation, a very lovely and hardworking and beneficial ocean conservation organization that does an incredible amount of work across the entire country. They do thank you so much. They do a ton of they have chapters in like everywhere. I mean, maybe not in the Midwest. I don't know for sure, but like
What about Florida?
ocean. Is there ocean in Florida?
No.
Well,
On
answer
Desert.
three
your
sides.
so yeah, Surfrider Foundation's great. Throw them some money if you want. We're only $55 away from meeting our goal. Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about fashion, if I recall.
Yes.
Yes.
So
You're
You're thinking about going shopping.
after we dump the bodies and Max gets to live out his dream of staging them as
I do stage it.
if they've betrayed one another in a crime of passion.
How much of like a backstory are you making up as you do this, Max?
Yeah, is this like a Heather situation?
Yeah.
They become my little G.I. Joe dolls, and
God.
no, I'm joking.
All right, after a while,
Max
we're gonna have
isn't
to
that
step in.
unhinged. No, but
You
I
just
do. I
ate
think I'm.
someone.
You did.
Okay,
You just
but I
Ate their
ate.
face.
I took a bite to prove that we won't eat alive people. We only will eat the dead people.
Max. That wasn't even a question.
Why?
It was to prove ourselves.
We could eat nobody.
Yeah, but what you know? What's more impressive? Eating the enemy.
Okay.
I'm all the way back around 180 degrees. You're 100% right. Next
I was
opportunity,
wrong the whole
someone's
time.
getting ate. I was wrong the whole time.
Like
So-
when you put it like that.
So I suppose question number one: do we have any money? Like, do we have any availability to buy
I
something
have some
here?
money.
So
You do,
I-
yeah.
I was gonna say I have money unless we're I still have money even if we're switching to the new thing. But are we switching?
I think we
Today.
are. Yeah, I think we are. It's just going
Okay.
to make things
Wait.
easier.
Mm.
Switching to what new thing?
I posted a whole rules set.
Oh, yes.
their
I'm
homework.
sorry.
God,
I
Raph.
was like, what is happening?
What were you doing? Traveling across the country for the last 2 weeks?
Yes,
God.
that's okay.
Yeah, no. So basically, everybody has a loot point, one loot point, and that basically means that you can buy anything you want, like supplies, clothing, really all of that. It becomes mostly just flavor. Um, and then, like, as long as you are not buying anything of significant value, like a horse, a ship, a magic item, you're covered basically.
Okay.
You have not found a significantly large enough source of treasure to get a second loot point yet, but you definitely each have one.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta blend in. We're so obviously not supposed to be here all the time that we should maybe change our outfits. I've been kind of eyeballing people, and it seems like there's a fashion trend going. So maybe let's take a quick dip,
Yeah,
change our clothes.
that'll definitely make us less conspicuous also when we go up to the mid levels. Because we can get away with it a little bit down here because everyone's kind of working and worried about their own thing. But if we go up to the mid levels dressed like this, the people are more likely to ask what's up.
That's an interesting question. Did the guards have money? Yes. The guards did have some money on them. It does appear to be the regular currency of the kingdom. A lot of crowns marks. A lot of the trade that happens in Barrow is obviously with the kingdom, and so their currencies are, for all intents and purposes, identical. So yeah, you can steal their money before you pose them in a death tableau.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. So let's go ahead and we'll stop at a clothes shop. Do we want to take like a monorail to a better district where we might have better options? You know what I mean?
Are you implying that Bloodside's not going to have some fancy boutiques? You're probably right.
If I wanted the same color smock in if I just wanted one for every week, I think I'd be set.
You're not even in Bloodside. You're in like the factory town at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like, Bloodside.
We
they're on the
started
same,
in Bloodside.
Yeah, they're on the same level, but Bloodside is like,
Bloodside
like
is back where we
compared
left.
to this. Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodside's back where we left the car.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that also gives me time while we walk to probably find one of those wall maps again and find a store.
Yeah.
I guess that gives me time to fill in on what I learned about Eddie's potential whereabouts and where we're going. And they'll explain, the fact that Eddie hasn't come through. He's either being punished for running away or he's, being punished for other reasons, but he's either been returned to whoever grafted him to live life as a horrible human pet, or he's probably being pulled apart.
Both very interesting options. Maybe he will be on the wall map. Maybe there will just be like a little picture of him that says, Eddie Monahan.
That would be amazing.
Maybe there will be pictures, like
maybe
a leg over here, an arm over
Control
here.
F.
Control F.
Like a lost.
Just don't let Max see the feet.
He's gonna eat defeat.
He's gonna eat defeat.
I'm gonna eat defeat.
Eat defeat.
No.
Good joke. Okay, cool. Yeah, you snuck in here. You went through the warehouse to do it, but you did sneak in here. So you're going back to that empty warehouse. You're posing them in their death tableau, and then you are going to sneak back out of the factory district, and in particular, though, like worker pens, and back to presumably Bloodside, where you might be able to catch a ride up to a higher level. So I'm going to need you to make some stealth rolls.
Dear God.
Yes, sir, DM. Stealth. Nice. All right. It's doable.
That's not.
Can I use one of our points?
You can.
That's bad.
Yeah, how
That's
desperately
bad.
do we need to stealth? Actually, is the question. Like,
I-
what are the consequences?
Probably just to get
No.
by some passive perceptions.
I was gonna say,
As long as we look pretty normal, right?
I'm gonna leave this up to you all to figure out.
we just Kelly and Eugene. got
Maybe
the
you
exact
should use
same.
one seeing everyone else's stealth checks. Maybe Max should.
Oh, I mean, Hunter did not pass theirs, so
Yeah.
A hunter's
maybe
just
Max should
like
use it.
I have a +1, so it's not like
You might as well use it, right? Like,
You might as well.
and
might
I've
as
actually
well.
got good stealth, and that's the unfortunate thing.
I mean, what did you
Yeah.
roll?
We have
You rolled like a 3, right?
Yep.
What's your stealth
yeah, but
bonus?
what's
Plus
your
6.
bonus?
9.
9. Yikes.
It's better than a
Um,
3.
That's true.
How many do we have?
Bro, toss 2
There.
dice.
5.
Yeah, 5.
5.
Just use one.
Yeah, spend it.
I
Do it.
will. I get a +1, so 12.
All right.
Inconspicuous.
I'm an 8-foot tall.
Are you
You're not
8
8
feet
feet
tall now? When did that
Disguise
happen?
self to make you a foot taller.
Use my last spider ability to
God damn
make
it.
myself even taller. No, I'm 6'6".
Oh, there was a guidance. Who
who gave you
Oh.
guidance?
I don't know.
Oh,
who-
Thank you,
Thank
Hunter.
you. Thank you, Leah Salfa. So was that guidance for Hunter or was that guidance for Max?
To me.
We are left in anticipation.
We are. I can feel you shiver. And
Quake.
is it Quake? I don't remember. Both it is. Both of you roll d4s.
Sick.
Both.
Alright.
Nice. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks for spending those drugs.
Can I use my own drugs to
Drugs.
constantly give
You
myself guidance?
you cannot give yourself guidance. That's the only thing we established.
What if Pukius gave it to me?
That would be.
So now that
Although I don't know, Pukius might be you for all I know.
Could be.
Could
so
be.
now that means 3 of us have 14s and 1 of us has 12.
Yep.
Well, those are
That's
much
not
better
bad.
Not
rolls.
got
so
12?
bad.
That's a middling.
Those are much better.
That's middle.
All right. As far as any of you are aware, you crack open the door of the warehouse, you peek around the corner, take stock of your surroundings. You do see some people milling around, a few workers passing by, but they move on. And you seem to have an opportunity where there's nobody around you. You can sneak out onto the street.
Flip on out. Backtrack the way we came.
Flippy, flippy. Okay.
Oh,
All right. And then you're back on the street, and you can make your way back across the factory district. You did have to take a monorail to get here, so you will have to catch another one, or you can try to catch one from here up to the mid-level. So if you're planning to do shopping on the mid-level, you can just go straight there and try your luck. If you were planning to try to get stuff in Bloodside, you'd still have to take a monorail, but you'd be going like over to Bloodside, not up.
I feel like we should go straight up.
Mhm.
Yeah. If
We
we're
look a
trying to
little
look
weird,
middle,
but we still look undead. We got cash
Yeah.
money to spend. It's like Pretty Woman.
Oh man, what if the undead pretty woman you?
Was that movie out?
Great question.
absolutely.
Feels like it
Actually, I've
was.
I feel like
I
it
feel like-
should have
I-
been, but I'm not
I feel
sure.
like we would have just been
feels
seeing My
like
Fair
an
Lady.
accurate reference.
If it was out, Max definitely
1990?
saw it like 10 times. Okay, it was.
1990. Okay, yeah. 'cause
Joanne loves it.
That's the year we disappeared. Was that the last movie Max saw in theaters? Is Pretty Woman with his mom?
No, we couldn't have seen it in
Maybe.
theaters.
Oh,
Well, a movie was like a nickel, right?
Yeah.
Dime? How,
I
how much
then.
does stuff cost in 1990? A half penny?
I was,
that sounds
penny?
legit.
Sounds
I
about
was
right.
there. They were very cheap.
Nice.
You could actually, they just let people in. You know,
Nice.
there was no money back then.
It's good times.
All right. So you didn't take
They
Joanne.
made
to
it into a
movies.
musical?
We don't have time to get
Sorry.
into this.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I just completely derailed myself.
That's a deep dive. We for a different time. You can have bone talk, or you can have our Pretty Woman deep dive. You pick one. All right. So yeah, you can move to where that spot where you saw the mana rails coming down,
Mhm.
one of the towers. Move to the base of it, and you can see them all skittering above you across the various walkways that connect the upper levels. These iron centipedes the size of subway cars with segmented bodies and glowing yellow eyes, question mark, on the front. And sure enough, as you're waiting there, one of them makes its way across the walkway directly over your head and then starts winding its way with all of its many little legs clicking against the side of the tower, down and around, before it comes to a stop on the cobblestone street in front of you. And the mandibles at the front open, revealing what looks like maybe a furnace. The undead who is standing behind it after you stand there for a minute, like, leans around the side of it and says, "Well, you gonna pay it or what?"
Mhm.
Question: if we pay this fee, will we have enough money for clothes? Can we just
Yes,
dump in?
absolutely.
Yeah, the money that
Okay.
we pilfered from those guys' pockets.
Yep, for sure.
Go.
Yeah.
Having a loot point basically assumes that you have like a very significant amount of wealth that you're carrying on your person.
Right in the bin.
Just to make sure, this thing is waiting for money, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's not
Or it
waiting
appears to
for us to give it a pound of flesh.
Yeah, that
Well,
was my
he
concern.
said you're gonna pay it.
Pop off a toe.
Regular old cash money. It's what they it's what they had in their pockets. So we have a
Yeah.
pretty fair assumption of what you should use.
Yeah.
We use their bus pass.
Yeah, we use we
Swipe.
get a stamp.
You toss in a few coins, and it seems satisfied. The mandibles like close with a click, and you can board the mana rail and stand, like, you grab the railings as it starts to make its way back up the tower and then across the walkway. Now that it has passengers, it does not go upside down on the walkways. It's very considerate in that regard.
It behaves.
Aw.
It behaves. Yeah,
Cute.
and so it starts carrying you up to the mid-level of Barrow. You can see, as it's doing so, you can see Bloodside and the factory district dropping away below you if you peer out the windows. And you can see exactly how vast Barrow itself is. Like a lot of towers, which, Barrow is made up of many towers on the inside, but it also resembles a tower on the outside. And like many of them, it's definitely wider the closer to the ground you get. So as you are moving up, you can kind of get this general sense that this level, the mid-level that you're heading towards, occupies less space than the level you just left, Bloodside, etc., etc. And you can see the different streets winding throughout. You can see the yard where you left the meat wagon with all of the other wagons, just waiting to be serviced and locked up. And you can see on the far side, like the other side of the factory district that you did not go to, you can actually see what looks like, for lack of a better term, a nest of the mana rails.
What's my animal handling?
Are they animals?
Oh, that's
Uh,
an
they are-
interesting
they are-
idea.
The trains breed themselves.
Listen, all bets are off. The D&D movie trailer is dropped. Druids can wild shape into owl bears. You can animal handle on a centipede train. We're just making things up now.
It's all in the name of fun, and that's what's important.
Yeah, just to be clear, I
Sure.
think it's very rad that the druid wild shapes into an owl bear, and I don't have an
Oh,
issue
yeah.
with it.
I love it.
Yes,
Sweet.
agreed.
My
100%.
my owl bear is out of reach. It's up there, but the owl bear and I are very thrilled.
You got like a real owl bear?
No, I've got lots of owlbear figurines because they are my
Cool.
favorite.
Owlbear bones.
And one of my
Bare bones.
warlocks has an owlbear mountain. It's my favorite.
I wonder if do owl bears have hollow bones or solid bones?
Solid bones.
Yeah.
Did you know
Hollow
that,
bones.
T-Rex could swim because it had hollow bones. I saw a video about that today. Anyway, we're in the shop getting clothes. Let's
We
get
are-
it.
Yeah.
We are
Let's get
bypassing the
fancy.
horrible reality of the mana rail nest. We're not going to acknowledge it.
I mean,
Max
I,
might acknowledge it.
I was going to say
Kinda
Hunter's
sick.
going to make note
Kinda
of it because maybe animal handling will be important at some point.
That is possible.
Max and Hunter's new shared dream.
Let me tell you, my animal handling is +3, so
Pretty good.
That seems better than a lot of skills Max rolls a lot.
I was going to say.
it's. I don't know why it's that high, but good with him.
Barbarian. So yeah, as you head up, as you wind your way up to the next level of Barrow, you start to see it taking shape. You start to get a sense for it. And what you can see is that this part of the city is much more brightly lit than Bloodside. There is more light, period, to start with. But specifically, as you get up there, those glowing signs and advertisements that you saw throughout Bloodside when you were walking around, there are more of them by orders of magnitude. The buildings appear larger. Even the ones that aren't the towers that rise up through the entirety of Barrow's structure, just in general, the buildings seem much taller. You see a lot more signs, you see a lot more advertisements, all of them glowing in various bright, eye-catching colors. And even the streets themselves appear to be lined with poles that emit light from a source at the top.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
The mana rail that you are on comes to a stop, lowers itself down on its segmented legs so that it is easier for you to dismount.
We do.
And yeah, find yourselves in the mid-levels. Almost immediately you notice the difference in people around you because you all look roughly the same. Obviously you have your different features, but you all sort of have this very sallow, pale skin, and your teeth are sharper than they were when you were alive. Your eyes have this yellowish cast to them. Your nails are kind of dirty and longer and jagged also. But as you look around here, you do see some people who have that same sort of appearance that you have, which was also everybody that you saw down below. Every undead, at least. But you also see other types of people. You also see pale-skinned people who look like they were more carved out of marble than you all are pale, but you all are pale in like a waxy sort of like corpse way.
Mhm.
They look like they are just like frozen in time almost. but as a rule, they appear much more beautiful. Whether that is a product of their being or just a fact, you can't say. You also see more semi-tangible undead moving about, as far as you can tell. There appear to be more semi-translucent spirits that resemble how they looked in life, but are clearly no longer among the living. And even though they're not entirely tangible, they have an appearance as if they're not entirely there. They also still have a sort of air about them, an air of superiority, maybe. Hard to say. And even though their clothes and their garb in general is only half formed and resembles the same sort of smoky nature of their physical bodies, they still maintain a certain level of fashion.
Hmm.
And you all, in your Bloodside workers' uniforms, feel very out of place. And you can pretty much tell immediately that people are looking at you. They don't appear suspicious, but it is very much like a do what you need to do and like get out of my sight.
Would it be?
Hmm.
Would we, given the fashion up here, would we be less noticeable if we took off the onesies and we're just in our normal stuff that we're wearing under? Or
Wasn't it like Victorian era-esque style?
Kinda.
That was a lot of what you.
So- Because the couple that we saw.
You
Are
okay?
okay?
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Okay. No, but we just saw you just like.
Sorry, there was a
Be weird
loud
for a
noise,
second.
and I don't know if it like came
Oh
from
no.
me or what. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Came from your mind. Well, the couple we saw in at the bottom when they were taking the main roll up, I'm pretty sure they saw at least me and Wayne, maybe Hunter. I don't remember who else. Maybe I don't think Kelly. Anyway, they also looked at us weird because we were wearing weird human clothes. So I think it's kind of like either situation is not good, and we need to get some fancy clothes.
I was just trying to see if one was like worse than the other, but if
Yeah, it by and large, you don't see anybody dressed like adventurers, which is what you all look like when you have when you are not wearing the
Yeah.
coveralls disguises.
Yeah.
Though
I feel
Hunter
like at
does
least
have
if
the anime
someone
jacket.
saw
I was
us
gonna
with,
say,
like-
yeah, Hunter does have the leather jacket.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say Hunter looks the
fair enough.
most normal at this point, I guess.
All right. Outfit figured out, ready to go.
Let's go to the fanciest looking little boutique.
Yeah, you can absolutely pop into the fanciest looking little boutique that you can see.
Nice.
Yes, and you hop in and you get a lot of weird looks at first. You get a lot of people scoping you out. There is a woman behind the counter who has that same sort of marbled, beautiful appearance. She has like very dark black hair that's up in a very complicated hairstyle. She's wearing like a very sleek outfit that is reminiscent of Victorian fashion. And she approaches you. You can see her eyes have a red cast to them. And when she opens her mouth to talk, you can see she has sharp teeth, but not in the way that you have sharp teeth, like her canines are elongated.
Oh my gosh, the fucking monster mash up in this bitch.
I love it.
And so she approaches you all, and she has she has that very retail expression on her face of like, can I help you? But also, are you lost?
Yes. And then I'm gonna gesture at Max, and I'm like, "Do you have anything in his size? Because we're having trouble finding something appropriate." And we've been kind of shunted into these for now.
She looks you up and down, Max, and she says, "We may have something in your size. Are you certain that you're in the right place? You didn't mean to go to a different store. Maybe you read the map incorrectly. And
Oh, we have the coin. I do want to make sure that you find a size or two above my size, because when I flex, I don't want anything to rip. If I'm gonna
Okay.
put coin down, I want to make sure that I can wear it for a while. Sturdy. And I wink at Kelly.
So proud. Genuinely
Are
proud.
you-
Kelly's like, "Ah, yes." She's like, "Yes, be a bitch."
Are you flashing like some money?
Yeah, I just throw down my coin purse.
Nice, nice. Okay. Cool. Just for funsies, how about you roll persuasion with advantage?
Why didn't I say anything?
Persuasion.
Can you aid? Wait.
With
Yeah,
advantage.
can I?
It's already got
Yes,
advantage.
there's
Can
advantage.
Could I pass? Can I? Is it possible for me to pass that to Wayne? Be like, let me ask my advisor.
I mean,
Hi there.
I think
You know,
it's-
I think it's very sweet that he's looking for something sturdy and durable. But I think the rest of us, we're looking to spend some money on kind of adding to our wardrobe. So we're not afraid of spending quite a bit of money today. And then I also, that'll throw it down, but I just drop my coin purse onto the table.
all right,
Kelly's
you
just
roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
Wait.
Sick, nasty.
Our persuasion
roll.
is
You die.
actually it's fine, but
Wayne's persuasion is
great.
+5. What did I
yeah.
15.
15! Heck yeah, better than a 1.
That is
Better
much better than
not
a 1. Okay. So she sees the coin. She processes your words and how well spoken you are. She seems to, like, she looks at you, and you can tell that she's seeing you in a new light. As she says, she sort of shrugs and says, "Well, can certainly make that happen." And she is going to start pulling items for each of you. And, you know, if you're giving her instructions and specifications and what you're looking for, she is going to roll with it and find you what you're looking for. Otherwise, she's just going to pull things that she thinks would be good.
Can I just look like Adamant from the Stand and Deliver music video? Can I just achieve that?
Yeah, that's fine. Is that like a Sergeant Pepper type jacket thing, if I remember correctly?
A little? I mean,
Okay.
I posted. It's one of the first things I posted in Kelly's character tab.
Okay. All right. Wait, isn't that your regular outfit?
No, it's the pants. It's the regular pants, but the rest of it
Okay.
is not.
Well, either way, the audience can't see that. Can you describe it a little bit? I mean, we don't have to start with you if you don't want. to. Yeah. Okay. There it is.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely it's probably similar pants to what she's wearing now, but probably a little bit more fitted to the period that this kind of like city operates under. There's like a belt of like long fabric kind of like draped around like the hip that then goes down, and then it's one of those high collared tops with like the big sleeves, and then a fitted vest with a lot of that like cording that goes back and forth across it.
Marvelous. So many belts.
And yes, more belts than necessary.
Perfect. You blend right into the ridiculous outfits you have seen other people around you wearing. Wayne, you said you had your outfit all picked out.
I have my outfit picked out. So Wayne's jersey inside out is the away game jersey, which is instead of white, it's black. So I would like some assistance. I assume they have a tailor shop. This is a well-to-do store that they help me out with. So it's tight black pants with some tucked into some black boots, some like combat boots, right? And then I tuck the jersey in, and then I help them help me to tie off around the elbow and then around the wrist. So it's like one of those
Okay.
big poofy shirts with then
my
a vest
God.
on that kind of tightens everything else up. So it's like a big poofy black shirt with a nice vest, and then everything else is skin tight. Anyway, and goggles like tie.
Nice.
Digimon.
Sick.
From Digimon.
God bless.
From Digimon. Yeah. Some sweet. Oh, no, wait. Can I do instead? I don't want to do goggles. I want to do those shades that are like they're shades, but then they also have like the side.
Oh, like the
Mm,
leather.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. Perfect. Amazing. Hunter, you adding anything to your red leather coat, your anime
So,
coat?
Raph can decline this, but I think Hunter does look at Max and is like, "What should I buy?"
Mm. Max is gonna kind of like
Mr. Fashion himself.
Just like, what would go with my coat?
your coat's red leather.
Yeah.
Max is gonna just go over, gonna look you up and down, and then just turn to the lady, and say, Emerald, French seams. You know what I'm talking about.
I have to Google that now.
I mean, bear in mind, it is canon that the only class Max ever did well in was home ec.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
She
It's just a
looks
type of sewing technique, by the way. Not
But-
like anything.
Gonna be like
But it's clean and it's effective and it keeps everything nice and tight and not like very easy rippable. It's very good, sturdy. It's a mark of a quality
alternatively,
seamstress.
the other purpose of French seams is also for sheer mesh.
That's also true.
The French seams has two very unique purposes, and it's for sturdy
We'll
inner
see what
seams
she-
so that you don't have exposed
Is it a-
raw edges, or it's for mesh fabrics.
It's a red
just wanna-
coat with mesh underneath. So
that's
you
what I'm
just
trying to
see
figure out.
I just
Hunter's
said emerald
sweet
French.
abs and pecs.
That is amazing.
We're going like full cyber goth. Like,
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
I want
All
this. I want
Okay,
this to
well.
be how this shakes out.
Max, you say that,
Max says that and then turns to Hunter and says, "It's much more sturdy. Won't rip. I know you move around a lot, so you want something that's gonna protect you, but also if you get snagged on one of your arrows, your bark, you don't want it. I don't know much about fashion though. I don't know what's going on.
Mr. Fashion himself.
himself. The woman at the woman who's working in the store who's helping you. When you say that, when you give that suggestion, she like looks at Hunter up and down, and, like puts a hand on her chest, and then back at you, Max, and says, "I never would have thought of that. That's a fabulous idea. I'll be right back." And she like goes to the back. She says,
Seems
"I have the perfect
obvious to me,
piece."
but okay.
And she returns a few minutes later with a emerald mesh shirt.
And Hunter just kind of looks at it and is like, "Didn't you say sturdier?" I mean, this is
Yeah.
cool.
The seam, you wouldn't understand. It's fine.
Yeah, she holds it up and she says, "It will hold its structure." She gestures to it.
That sounds like a good idea. Thanks, Max.
I'm
Listen.
I probably need
Under
pants too, but
Mesh.
Under a red leather
Mesh.
long coat, just the mesh top,
Sexy.
It's a vibe.
It's
the whole
Hunter
mood.
has
it's a
come
whole
so
vibe. It
far.
works out.
Oh yeah.
It worked out way
Hunter
better
came
than
out of the
what I
woods for
ever
10 years and
imagined.
is getting an experience.
That is one way to put it.
Andrew came out to
And-
live.
Speaking of Mr. Fashion himself, what's Max Miller after?
Max is gonna go just like walk over with the lady and just start like looking at different stuff, making sure that everything is definitely sturdy, breathable. And I think Max is gonna come out of the dressing room with like you see like the cloak that he was wearing that was like kind of like a half cloak, kind of raggedy, has been now like quickly, you see him kind of like cutting the last bit of the sewing. He's like sewn it to the inside of like a long like suit suit jacket. There we go, that's the word.
Like with the tails.
Yeah, a little bit of tails.
Nice.
Nice.
But it's like made of like a strangely like somewhat stretchier material, so it's not like he can't move.
Mm.
And he's wearing like a little vest over his armor. And a little bowler hat. Why not?
Oh,
A low pony and a bowler hat.
I love it.
No pony.
Amazing.
Low pony
All right.
and a bowler.
And
And I just
thus decked out, obviously there was a montage, there was a jaunty little
Oh, yeah.
song playing in the background.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
you are
yeah, we all
now-
came out in different outfits and we're like, no. Yes.
Everyone comes out wearing mesh at different times, and we're like, no, no, no.
It's not working.
Hold on a minute.
And then Hunter comes out and it's like, yes, perfect.
There we go.
Actually.
Mhm. All right. And so thus equipped, looking fabulous, looking much more like you belong here. You can step out. You leave the vampire lady behind to run her store, and
What is her name? Did we get her name?
you did not. Do you
Vampire.
want to get her name?
Yes. I say,
It's
do
in-
you have like a business card?
Yeah, she'll hand it over to you, and as she does, she'll say, "It's Dahlia, darling."
Dahlia.
Dahlia.
Thanks. That's it. And I just walk away.
And we stiff the bill. We run out without paying.
Yeah, I'm assuming you put the coins down, and you pay up, and then
We swipe it last
Yeah.
minute. Yeah.
can head out. You find one of those wall maps that you've been using since you arrived here, and clearly delineated on that wall map, you can find the location of a bar known as the Small Death, which is demarcated on the map with a rose.
I was gonna say I was debating on if I should be taking the flowers out of my hair, but if I see that, that'll be fine. They stay in.
Flower stand.
Flowers stay in.
Actually, before we go in there, I know I can be a little bit.
Mhm.
So Kelly, I'm just gonna follow you. But what are we doing here? What's the plan? When should I and I just like pull out the gauntlet and just like when should
The blade pops out and like shreds the sleeve of the suit jacket.
we should try to avoid any kind of violence in a populous area. So
Mm.
on the street in the middle of the bar. I would save that for alleyways and back rooms if we
What
can.
about bar bathroom?
Max, do you plan on going to the bar bathroom with the mark?
Good.
Whatever it takes.
A man is most vulnerable when he has his pants down.
Well,
Yep.
to be fair, we're
Learned that
not.
lesson before.
Okay, let's back up for a second. We're not trying to hurt this man. We need him on our side.
Oh,
A valid question about a necropolis also is, are there bathrooms?
Ugh.
yeah. Do the undead have to pee?
You have not had to pee.
Chat, let us know.
Do the undead
Oh yeah,
pee?
should we run up a poll?
Run up a poll for the chat.
That will decide whether the bar has bathrooms.
No, but Kelly will explain. No, we're not trying to hurt him or threaten him or anything. We need him on our side. His name is Marius. He's a member of the board, and he is, as far as the limited intel we have, he's our most likely candidate of being open to betraying the head of the city.
Mm.
So
Can I
we
just be
need
the
to-
bodyguard?
Say that again. Sorry.
Can I be the bodyguard? Can I?
That's a great
Yes.
idea.
You may.
Cool.
I mean, Kelly, would it just make the most sense, that you'll give us the word if we need violence, and no violence unless you give the word?
I think that's fair. I think we would all be. I would hope we would all be able to see violence coming. But if I know it's coming, I will definitely say so.
So secret notice is a snap, snap, and then a clap, and then snap, snap, and then clap, and then snap, snap.
That seems complicated.
Okay, just snap, snap, clap, just one.
All right.
You
Anyway.
got it.
And so we walk into the bar, the saloon doors blow open.
I'm practicing.
Mm-hmm. You do step into the bar. Sorry, I was just checking on the results of our poll. You're watching the VOD after the fact. Yes, but only a little is currently winning the question. Do the undead pee?
Amazing.
So far, there's only one vote for nah, it's all dry down there.
Who did
Cool.
that?
It's impossible to know.
Oh yeah.
You step into the small death, and from the outside, it resembles a. It very much resembles like an old timey pub. There's a wall of latticed windows. The glass is kind of frosted over. It's really hard to see inside, other than like vague shapes moving around. But you can see that it is well lit, and that light appears to be flickering, almost as if from like a fireplace or something like that. Overhead of the door frame, sort of as a anachronistic counterpoint to that, there's, if you didn't know better, what you would assume to be a neon sign of a red rose with the words "The Small Death" printed underneath it in a scrawling script.
Very cool.
Sick. That's sick as
Uh,
fuck.
and yeah, you can open the door and walk inside. Nobody really gives you a second thought. You are dressed very much like you can and should fit in here.
Max is
But
like,
as you
Every person. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, but as you do step inside, you don't see any sign of a fireplace. You realize that that sort of flickering light that you saw from out front is sort of a layer of heatless flame that hovers right under the ceiling. So it's over your heads, but it is sort of casting light down. It is sort of giving that aesthetic of the fireplace, even though it is above you. that ambiance, if you will. There's a bar off to one side and a fairly small number of circular tables that are set up with various people drinking at them. Behind the bar is a wall of glass bottles. Though as you examine them, you realize that each one of those glass bottles seems to just contain a red, semi-viscous liquid. As you look around the bar a little bit closer, you can see that pretty much everybody here, aside from yourselves, has that very sort of pale, flawless complexion, slightly pointed canines, red eyes. There are glasses on the table in front of them, stemmed wine glasses, and as far as you can tell, each one of which contains some of that same reddish liquid. And there's plenty of conversation and noise as you walk in. What are you doing?
I guess looking around, either perception or investigation, looking for. I guess if there is an undead person here who's not a vampire, because I'm pretty sure, unless he didn't know, I'm pretty sure Edmund would have mentioned if Marius is a vampire.
Maybe
But
not.
he might not have
Hard to
known
say.
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and roll investigation. And there
This
are
may sound like a
bathrooms.
strange question, DM. Are there any cans in this bar?
You want
Interesting.
carbonated? Carbonated blood.
Because everything else, so we're in this city
Red
that most
Claw.
things or more things are similar to our world.
Yeah, you don't see any cans.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can only imagine that after 10 years, I can only imagine how much Wayne misses the, sensation and sound and overall experience of just cracking open a nice cold Labatt's.
For sure.
See, I was expecting Wayne to just start smashing the can into his head to assert dominance.
Wayne's been in a bar once.
For sure.
Wayne knows how to make a hockey puck out of anything.
Yeah, or you just
Give him a
crush it down
can.
real slick.
He got
Say,
True.
he was in the.
Labatt's.
Labatt's.
We were in the bar together with Rodney and drunk, sad Lindsay Ardane.
That
So
is
we've
true.
been in a bar. They
You
just don't
have
have
been in a bar?
cans.
That is true. This is a lot closer to like the kind of bar that you've been in maybe before in Ohio, but no cans as far as you can tell, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
But as we've established with the poll, there is a bathroom.
There you go.
So
It's a 14 on investigation. Because my
Okay,
investigation
14.
is flat.
okay, that is no problem.
Bad
With a
for a
14, you
flat.
look around. It's true, and you do not see anybody else in the bar that is not a vampire, other than the four of you.
So it's gonna make things.
Have we slept at all to regain any of those charges? 'Cause I have in my notes that I've used 3 charges.
Yeah,
You
I
have
don't
not
remember if
used
I've
3
slept.
charges.
Shit.
We have not
You
slept.
have-
No.
Shit.
You've been moving nonstop.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, with a 14, I will also say that you can see a vampire in one of like the back corners. I'm going to say that there is one corner booth. Not like a diner booth, but just like, wooden, almost like pews, like church pews, set around a table. And you can see one vampire who appears to sort of be almost holding court. There are other vampires at the table with him, a few standing. And as you walk in and you're scanning the room, he says something. You don't quite catch what it is, but everybody around him starts laughing way too hard. and you can recognize like, cloud chasers when you see them.
I'm gonna point, like, not obviously like point, but just do kind of like a gestured hand like this, like I'm talking about something else, and I'll be like, that's him. If I had to guess, that'd be Marius. Now we've
Should we
just
get
gotta
food?
talk.
I assume by this point you've maybe like moved over to the bar to not
Mhm.
like, just be
I'd
standing.
imagine
We are not
obviously
standing in the doorway,
right?
no.
Standing at the doorway,
is
just
there-
scanning.
Is there an open table?
Yeah, there's definitely an open table.
Yeah, let's take it.
Slide on into a table.
Okay.
Or like a booth? Is there a booth?
There's only the one
Uh,
booth, and that is currently spoken for.
Tables would be safer if you have to get up fast anyway.
That's true.
All right.
So we post up at the table.
Post up at a table, and you're chatting about what it is you want to do next. The vampire
Can
behind
I-
the bar.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, what
okay.
you got?
Can
go for
can I make a perception check to see if I see my bats anywhere? And 2, if I let's see if that happens first.
I already said there were no Labats, so no, you can go ahead and roll for it.
Okay. Perception or investigate. There actually, let's do
say-
perception or investigation.
You can roll perception in this case.
Okay. It's between a 0 or a -1 DM. So you tell
Well,
me.
you're just trying to see them. They're not hiding from you. Like you're not trying to like discover
I'm just
something
kind of
that's
like
concealed.
doing
So I'm gonna
a
go with
quick little
perception.
look around. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yay, thank you. It doesn't change.
You're
too
so
much,
welcome.
but- Oh, I didn't put a space. I'll just do this.
Hope.
Oh, oopsie. 12.
Hope. With a 12, yeah, you can see your bats. They are
Okay.
not in this establishment.
But I did see some like about.
Some
I will
bats
say
about.
that as you are sitting at the table and sort of scanning around, you will see a group of shadows, like very quickly wing past the latticed window wall outside. So like you can't see that they're bats specifically, but you do see the shapes sort of like quickly like dart past.
Okay, cool. In that case, I want to like I kind of want to like don the dread presence, like using the bats if possible. And
Okay.
my goal here, let me just explain. My goal here is I want to look like like I'm guarding someone very important. Like we all look dressed up really nice. I want to look like I kind of almost want to make eye contact with everyone in the room and like almost be like a don't fuck with us kind of thing. And then just kind of like do a little like tip at the guy and like kind of like to the lady Kelly, and then just like almost like sit next to her.
And I wanna lean into Hunter and just go, hey, just follow my lead. Kelly, say something funny.
Do I look like I'm
Oh
funny?
my god! And again, ho, 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 ho. Big laugh. Hunter laughs with me.
Hunter
Maybe
laughs nervously.
trying to gain a similar effect of someone important saying something funny and people laughing way too hard.
Kelly will say, I mean, if you want to hear something funny, I can tell you about one of the times when I robbed Lindsay Ardane, because, like, it gets more and more ridiculous every time it happens.
Big laugh, huge laugh, very over exaggerated.
Huge laugh.
Would the last
Look over
time
to the
would the last time you robbed Lindsay Ardane technically be when he like tried to hand you his wallet?
When he was just resigned to the fact that
Oh,
this
yeah.
might as well happen, technically. But that's not funny. That's just sad.
That
is
was
true.
very sad.
It is pretty funny.
I mean, I was going to say it
actually.
depends if you like Lindsay or Dane or not. Yeah, cool. You do all of this. You put on a good show, and you do, since you are taking such note of this person in the corner, you can tell that like the heads of the people assembled at his table kind of swivel to look at you all because there is such a big laugh. And he looks a little annoyed about that. You know, like he wants to be the, you know, funniest person in
When
the bar.
You got his attention.
I was gonna say, when I see that he's annoyed, I will kind of overly dramatically and kind of conspiratorially lean forward towards the others to like whisper, basically be like, okay, now we don't laugh. Now he's seen us, he's heard us, and now we gotta act like whatever we're doing is more important than whatever he's got going on over there.
Mm.
Okay.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Drink.
Whisper, whisper, whisper. Drink.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Nod.
Eugene.
Almost as soon as you say that, the vampire bartender approaches you at the table. He looks around at each of you and he like hesitates for a second and says like he takes all of you in, and like Max, you can tell that this sort of bodyguard energy that you're putting off, he's kind of sizing up the table and trying to read the room, and he seems to come away with the impression that at least
like as soon as I realize he's taking like just too long, I kind of like pound the table a little bit and like look at him expectantly. Like don't keep her waiting.
yeah, he looks around at you all, is kind of sizing up, trying to read the situation, and he seems to come to the conclusion that at least one of you is very important or wealthy or something. He doesn't know which one of you it is, except he knows it's not Max. But yeah, he looks around and he sort of very not super nervously, but like a little bit nervously says, I'm terribly sorry. This is, well, quite obviously, I'm sure as you've noted, this is a blood bar, and I would be more than happy to serve you if that's what you fancy.
I think we'll share a bottle.
Very well. Any preference? Any do you have a preferred age?
I don't like the many implications of that sentiment.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Kelly will kind of like pretend to ponder it for a second, and then she'll kind of like smile and say, whatever you prefer.
Very well, yes. We do have a very fine 16-year-old that I'll bring right out. And he leaves, goes behind the bar and starts sort of shuffling through the bottles, trying to find the one he's looking for.
Kelly's like, this city is a nightmare.
Are we really going to drink it?
To do.
I feel like we have to.
Max, you ate someone.
I pop a toe in my mouth.
Wait, Max, was it good? Did it taste good? Did it taste different than like when you were alive?
It wasn't bad.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good.
We just gotta like sip it.
Shh, here he comes.
He approaches you and he sets the bottle down on the table in front of you. Yep.
And 4 glasses.
And yes, 4 glasses, absolutely. He's very professionally. He has like the stems, tucked between his fingers as he's carrying the bowl, and he sets the bottle, not the bowl, sorry. And he sets the bottle down on the table, and then he sets the glasses down. He decants it and he starts to pour it for you, unless you intervene to stop him. But he is just going to pour a healthy portion into each glass.
Yeah, no, I think we'll let him. That adds to the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he will look around and he'll say, is there anything else I can do for you? You require anything else?
Not for now, I don't think, but if there's anything, we'll let you know.
Very well. Well, enjoy.
I want to just eye contact.
Max.
Some very important people come in here. He's pretty clearly like used to being threatened. He doesn't roll his eyes at you, but he also doesn't seem concerned.
Mm.
And then he leaves. Goes back behind the bar. And you have your glasses. I imagine you're kind of all just sitting around like staring at them, like waiting who's gonna do this
Kelly-
first.
Kelly will do it. She will pick it up and kind of just like do one of those like wrist motions that she's definitely seen like her mother do. And then just sip the smallest amount.
Okay. Yeah. It tastes like blood. It does not hit you in a particular way. You don't know if that's because this is just what it is for all undead, or if it's your particular like flavor of undead or what, but like it's kind of like you're just drinking blood.
Just
After
Hmm.
allowing Kelly to take her drink in deference,
Yes.
then Wayne, most important person drinks first.
Exactly. That was
Yeah,
Hunter's
yeah.
logic.
Wayne
Me
picks up
too.
the glass, swishes it or swirls it around, takes a deep smell, is like, it's just juice. It's just juice. It's just juice. Very good juice. That's it down.
And presumably you each do this. I mean, nobody's really paying attention
Yeah.
to you. You don't have to drink it if you don't want to.
I was gonna say I don't think
I just
Hunter
take
does.
I take a gulp. I'm trying to
oh,
finish this off quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, he
think
left
Hunter
you. There's
put
like
it
half the
down.
bottle left. Like he
That's
left it on the
horrifying,
table.
Max.
Okay, cool. You do that. You like kind of mind mind yourselves. You don't try to draw too much attention to yourselves. You just kind of continue with your conversation. You force yourself to drink the wine. You don't necessarily the wine. You just force yourself to drink the blood. You don't necessarily enjoy it. But after about maybe 20-30 minutes of this, the person you saw at that table gets up. He excuses himself from the crowd that he was talking to, and he kind of starts making his way over to you all. And he, as he draws closer, you get like a better look at him. It was kind of hard to see what he was all about, what his deal was from across the room. Now that he's drawing closer, you can see that he has very sharp features, very, very sort of angular features. His age is truly impossible for you to determine. You don't know if he was 20 when he was turned. You don't know if he was, 50 when he was turned. You don't even know if vampires in Barrow were turned or how that works. But he has like he has very short black hair. Pretty much every vampire you have seen in Barrow so far has more or less the same physical characteristics. The red eyes, very, very black hair, chalk white, like alabaster skin.
Mm.
He is dressed a little less ostentatiously than you would expect. Certainly less ostentatiously than you all.
Mm.
And you don't know if he's dressing down because he's like going out in public and he's kind of a public figure, or if this is always kind of his deal or what. But he makes his way over to you. And he kind of inserts himself towards your table. He will say as he does so, "Terribly sorry. I don't mean to interrupt your conversation. I was surprised. I don't see many folks with your taste. I'm intrigued.
uh, Max will just look at Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly kind of like from where she's seated, kind of like looks up at him, and then kind of nods at that and says, "Well, it's a fun novelty to be able to experience. It's one of the benefits of the city, and take advantage of it when we can." Would you like to sit down?
Well-
We still have half a bottle.
He will do so. He as
Max
soon as
stands
he
up.
like comes over,
Yeah.
you give him
like,
your
pull the
chair.
chair out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And as soon as you do that, as soon as he like goes to sit down with you, the bartender like hustles over with another glass, sets it down in front of Marius, and goes to pour from the bottle as well. Unless you want to take it from him and do it yourself, Max, if that's important to you. But otherwise, he's going to do it.
No, I'm just a bodyguard. I'm not a
Okay.
waiter. I would probably
All right.
spill it. So, but I will stand
That's
like
fair.
kind of behind, if it's possible, if he'll allow me to, kind of behind Kelly and him, like in between them, but a little bit closer to Kelly so it doesn't look like I'm trying to box this man in. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
Bodyguard
absolutely.
style. So like if he
Bodyguard
tries anything, I'll
style.
just chop his arm off, you know?
Got the blade hand ready.
Yeah. So he gets his drink. It's poured in front of him, and he lifts it. Does the kind of the same thing that you each did. Swirls it around a little bit. Takes a smell. Sips at it, and then smiles at you from across the table. Very wide smile, and says, "Yes, fresh."
Good years.
Well, I must say,
Here.
good years.
Good years.
I appreciate you inviting me to join you. My curiosity was piqued, as I stated before, but far more curious to me, if I'm being honest. I was never expecting to see you again, Miss Violet. You left us so abruptly last time. And with that, we will end our session.
Kelly knows too many people.
What do you
Kinda like you made an
mean,
impression.
bruh?
Constitution check to keep a straight face.
Seriously.
Max is just like,
Nuts.
All right. Well,
You just love to leave us with those
Mwing.
cliffhangers.
Oof.
I mean, listen.
Oh boy.
Gotta
oh
keep
boy.
them coming back. Yeah, it seemed like a weird note to end on, to just like be like, all right, you all drink the blood of a 16-year-old and we call it there.
We hate
Have a
it.
good night,
We
everybody.
hate every
See you in
second
2
of it.
weeks.
So much.
Felt like a weird energy to call it on. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It's like I just said, we will be back in 2 weeks with more class reunion. Tomorrow night is the Mercy of Time. We are drawing to a close on our first Wildcard Wednesday game. So join us for that. We have, I think, 1 or 2 more sessions after tomorrow, but we're getting into Endgame, and that's going to be cool. After that, we're going to move on to a few other Wildcard Wednesday projects. We have other people who normally play in our games who are going to be running short shots, like 1 to 3 episodes. And those are going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of guests joining us from outside of our channel, and yeah, we're very excited to get to play with them. Got a lot of other stuff coming up too. Join us next week. Academy H is our podcast, our Masks Actual Play podcast. You can find all 6 episodes of that are currently out on your podcasting platform of choice. That is under the name Live from the Apocalypse, which is a funny name.
We
Uh,
love
Funny,
it.
funny.
We
Not as
do.
good as
Funny,
Live from the
funny.
Episcalypse.
Nice.
Listen,
That was a good one.
That was great.
I
Excellent.
applaud you. I applaud you, DM.
all right, Julia
Yeah,
and
that was
JD
great.
are gonna quit if we don't stop. So too many piss jokes.
I
But
don't like
anyway,
'em.
yeah. If you want more piss jokes, you can join us next Sunday for a live recording of the next 2 Academy Age episodes, where we just make those nonstop. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern, right back here on the channel. Feel free to come by. I think that is pretty much all of the housekeeping. If you want to know what we're up to, if you want to keep up to us, you can follow us on Twitter. I still have not made social links for our Instagram or our TikTok account, but you can follow us on there too. We are at Live from the Apocalypse on both. So do that. If you want, also feel free to join our Discord community. We just watched a bunch of dystopian science fiction last night for our monthly community night because the real world is pretty awful, and sometimes movies that are awful help. So yeah, do that if you want. It's a great place, lots of cool people. We'd love to have you there, and so on. So we are going to disappear for just a few minutes, but then we will be raiding into some other great creator here on Twitch. We were gonna do the Lion Night. They end at like the exact same time we do. It's very
No.
frustrating. But yeah, no, I know. But we'll raid into Lost Caravan. They're also friends of ours. They're very cool. Say hi. Tell them we sent you, and we will be back in 2 weeks. We will see you soon. Anybody else got anything? We good?
I think that's it.
Good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say
We love
good night,
you.
everybody.
Night,
Night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.